misfits, one and all, to tonight's Skeptic and Ranting. Did dinosaurs and man coexist? Where tonight we are throwing an after party from the debate NephilimFree versus James W. Did dinosaurs and man coexist? On the Standing for Truth channel. So won't you join James W. and myself, Amy Newman, for a good time 65 million years in the making. That's all right. Welcome everyone out there on the intertubes. Wow, I don't know how they fit it through there.
We'll tell you about that in the after show.
Oh my, hopefully it's 12 feet or 15 feet.
At least,
please,
minimum.
Don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe, because then you gain access to that bell icon, which will send you reminders to join our live streams or see our premieres. What's up, interwebs?
Hey, guys.
We are a skeptic channel. It's true, including the two schmucks that you see hosting before you. However, after our housekeeping and opening statements, we will be opening up the floodgates, or rather the open mic, so anyone can say their mind about the topic. We'll also give everyone the chance to have their own opening or closing statements, atheist or theist, liberal or conservative. Come as you are, just not on my sheets, not on the flag. This housekeeping is sponsored by our Patreons over at patreon.com/Amy Newman, which helps us make even more fun content, including us from the Atheist Roundtable and Tenge.
Thank you, us.
Woo-hoo! Sending so much love to the Atheist Network group that you can find at youtube.com/atheism. I also want to send love out to chat. I see Lucia and Jason and Ogre and Ian and Sinister and Wolfe and Doubting Thomas, Farron, Udif, Monkey for Banana, Ogre, everybody sending
he did
so much. Oh my goddess. And we're gonna, I think, use this housekeeping to talk about the debate, so then we can just open it up for everybody. But man, it was a doozy. I was telling James before stage, it amazes me that there are human beings on this planet, the only planet that we know of life, that claim that humans and dinosaurs coexisted. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like the full price of admission,
full Monty.
The full Monty.
The full 15 feet.
He also believes that the dinosaurs are dragons. And he has the audacity, the chutzpah. I want to know what it takes to sit there confidently and go, you believe in a myth, and I believe in dragons.
Fire breathing, too. He believes they breathe fire. He thinks they had a special organ in their nose that would
you're not even
mix
joking?
a chemical. No, that's not a joke.
Legitimately believes in fire-breathing dragons.
Like there's a beetle that spits fire out of its rectum, so they think God put that in the nose of these dinosaurs to allow them to breathe fire. Yeah.
Either this is why the aliens haven't visited us, or this is why we haven't visited aliens. Because religion.
Yeah.
What is up, Mark Reid?
I saw Mark in the chat during the debate. That was
yeah.
that is a badass beetle. Bombardier beetle.
In a second, I have to switch from one pink headphone to the other. It's warning me. But at least it's warning me. And also giving love to the entire Tang Gang, which you should check out, the LGBTQ plus secular allies talk show. Everybody just head out to the Atheist
Do
Network
it.
group, where we
you want to
once a month. And also sending love to back and student Dr. Ben, Big A Jesus. Jagasis. I think I corrected my mistake in there. Also sending love to Ian Davenport.
Woo-hoo. Hey, Ian's out there in chat. Good to see you.
Sending love to Ian.
All
sending
the way to
love
Australia.
to our Facebook commander, which I will be also. I just started posting more memes on there. And
hey,
so look forward to that, as well as getting the same type of badges and stuff up for Twitch.
We don't need those stinking badges. Yeah, you do need the badge. You do.
But
you want the badge. You want the badge.
You want the girl deck level.
Even though I don't think you made anything.
We couldn't. Level. I know. We originally had a whole bunch of fun tiers made, like 42 and 1337, 13, 33, and all this for cool stuff. But YouTube was like, yeah, that's cool. How about official numbers that end in 999 or a 0? I'm like, okay, fine. Sinister. Porpoise for $5 says, "Come out of the closet, Matt Powell."
Where's Adam Moore when we need him?
Thank God, exactly. Any less of you? We couldn't think any less of you anyway.
That's from the famous incident where on Brett King's channel Backstage, where Adam Moore implied that Matt Powell was Kent's boy toy.
Oh my! I saw that. Adam Lore. He sometimes he likes to.
He's a little spicy.
A little spicy, and yet once again, he feel like he earns his atheist badge very well in that debate.
I mean, he's not a flat earther. He's just a globe skeptic, evolution skeptic. But you're allowed to be a skeptic.
Well, and
still be an atheist.
And is he? He's not a globe skeptic.
Is he not? I thought he might be.
In fact, I think he got offended when I insinuated that he was.
Oh, maybe.
I think that's where he does draw the line. He is
a firm round earther, glober.
Well, yes. And which would be funny because that would mean we now need a trifecta. We now need myself, Adam Lore, and Ken Hovind versus 3 flat earthers, ladies and gentlemen. It's the only way to get Ken Hovind to defend science. I believe it.
That's the only thing he'll defend science. The only thing.
But thank you so very much, Sinister Porpoise. I think we all would like Matt Powell to come out of the closet. It's okay, Matt. You can do it. You can do it.
Your wife won't think less of you.
It's like a trinity of heathenry. That's right. He has that cute smile on. I can't help.
Oh.
Because he does. He has this little
that little smirk.
It is. He looks happy. Yeah. He looks like, "Hi guys, what's going on?"
He is just so content, just sitting here watching the show.
And sending love to not only Ian Davenport, but when we listen to claims like humans lived with dinosaurs.
Like evolution is dead, and the schools are getting rid of it as we speak, and within
I
100
love
years,
that. Can
it'll be
I
gone
say
from all the schools.
my favorite thing about that timetable? Like 150 years, the creationist claims that evolution will be gone from school. So I'll be long dead. He'll be long
Before I'll
dead.
be proven wrong.
Exactly.
So I guess that 100 years from now, they'll
Okay.
all be back. They'll be back to teaching Jesus and God, and the poof model will be back.
The poof model.
The poof model will make a comeback. Throw out all this science. We don't need that. Who needs science when you have magic and baseless assertions?
If you believe in magic.
Come on.
Hold on. It's almost. Oh, I'm just going to click a few more buttons.
Transition back.
There we go. And I have sound again. It
transition
worked.
back.
It's crazy, but I wanted wired and wireless headphones for when one died. And so, ladies and gentlemen, my system works. I had to do it live, which I'll try and fix next time.
You couldn't get one, they don't make a wireless headphone that has a wire backup on it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Though I will say that those are much tighter. That's what he, she, or they said, and so these gives my ears a break anyway. So James Wolfe says, "How is it we haven't had a good science fiction movie based on Flurf? For some reason, the concept of the ice wall reminds me of Logan's Run and Sanctuary. It's true. Could make a Flurf movie. Good old Flutter.
I mean, a Hollow Earth movie. They did like Journey to the Center of the Earth. That wasn't a Hollow Earth movie. They just found weird shit in the Earth. But
see, the problem with that is I feel like you couldn't do it without going is it Mike Judd? I'm trying to remember who made Idiocracy. All those
Beavis and Butthead, Mike Judge.
I feel like you would have to take a seriously satirical.
You would have to.
Yeah, but I'm sure you could do it well.
To mock the Flurf. Hey, Aaron. Got Marshall out there. Good to see Marshall.
What is up, Marshall? Between believing in flat Earth and young Earth is how long you've known you're wrong. Yeah, indeed. It really is comparable, and they get deeply offended and are like, we live our day. We go on and put our pants one leg at a time. I get it. I get that Christians have somehow normalized horrible blood human sacrifice. And then apparently, welcome to the topic of humans and dinosaurs. But yes. Also, sending so much love out to not only Grumpy Old Custody and Davenport, but Diana Smith, because, well, the Bible doesn't treat women that well, unfortunately.
That Bible sucks.
I cannot get a good amount of people, creationists, theists, Muslims, to give me biological evidence that men came first. Also, that's what she said or he said. I'm letting the cat in. Okay, they're playing games, but they're very cute.
mute this.
Sending love to Diana Smith and also Pat Lowinger.
Thank you, Diane.
Send so much love. Pat is in an excursion. He is hiking, gathering, looking, doing what creationists don't do, going in the real world and collecting data. That crazy, crazy thing.
Why need data when you have baseless assertions and an old book?
Yo, can we also go over that his entire, I hate to say methodology because it's not a methodology, line of evidence is they drew a picture. They drew the picture.
Well,
I have no, like, he marketed it for, he must, because of rhetoric, he sounds confident in it. But oh my Jesus, like, that is all he had. That was the entire line of argumentation. I can't think of any other, except for Marco Polo. Marco Polo. And,
I was surprised he went with that first, but, and I thought I smacked that away when I'm like, Neff, why would we ask the people who don't know anything about a topic? Why would we ask little kids what they think about something or a picture or something in the field of science when we have experts who have been working in the fields for decades who all have looked at your stuff and they say no, it's not, doesn't mean anything that you're trying to say that it means, and you say screw them, get rid of them, let's bring in the little kids, let's bring, what do the fourth graders think? But he kept going back to that.
What he said, and he
kept going back to it over and over again,
as if the bar is we show children pictures and go, does this look like a dinosaur? And then everyone high fives, and that's what we teach in biology class.
That gets peer reviewed. Oh, the kids think it looks kind of like a dinosaur. Oh, well, screw all this science, Amy. What have we been doing all this time? I mean, all these radiometric dates and paleontology and all this evolutionary biology stuff because the kids think it looks like a dinosaur. Huh. There you go.
There you go. Why go at the scientist when you have, a fourth grader?
Hey, and the fourth graders, we can bribe them with some candy.
That's even being, I would hope, at least 50% of the, I don't know, Jesus.
The fourth graders
elementary
would
and then
be able to comprehend.
And then as they move into middle school, please, hopefully they comprehend.
I mean, it kind of looks like a dinosaur, but they died millions of years ago. It can't be a dinosaur. He'd have to bribe them with candy to get all of them to agree.
But then we'd be in a misty or a Taoistic territory.
You want Smokey Saint to take you to out to Chuck E. Cheese, or
listen? It's a different type of candy van. Run,
you want to go visit Dinosaur Adventureland, don't you? No, you don't.
That's true.
You don't want to go near that.
That's also very safe for children. I hear that he not only does he self-practice gravity experiments on not one but up to 3 wives, but he also allows.
And kids.
I was gonna say he also, allows candy vans near children. Apparently, personified as people.
Hey, all the kids that didn't die had a great time, Amy.
It's God.
All the kids that didn't die had a great time. So
exactly. Or got passed around like SeaWorld by the Catholic Church. Listen, who are we talking about? What? This is a daytime show. I'm just kidding. I love you, Bill Burr. Anyway, sending love to Pat. Sending love to Dale.
Yeah.
Sending love to Dale, but also sending, you should check Pat out at youtube.com/BiddyBuddha_. Go learn some shit. And then sending love to
Do
Dale
it.
Pastel.
Thanks,
Sending
Dale.
love to Dale, reminding us that, well, the skeptics are just looking for a little bit of empirical evidence. That's all.
Get
we've
any
been
last
looking
night?
for.
I don't think we got
Oh,
a shred of
you
it.
did not get any empirical evidence. You got Marco Polo. Marco Polo.
You know, he did. I don't think he responded at all to Christopher Columbus misidentifying manatees as mermaids, but that's kind of dangerous because he might actually believe that Christopher Columbus got it right. He might actually believe mermaids are real.
Yeah.
Maybe he was too
Can
shy
we
to
just
come out and say that,
also-
but it wouldn't surprise me if he believes in mermaids.
Can we just for 1 second appreciate that his name is NephilimFree? Usernames go under the radar all the time. We all have usernames. We all have silly usernames we've gotten from video games, anime, hiking. His name is named after the fact that he believes in giants. He believes.
Thanks. Oh, we got Dale out there.
Biblical giants. What is up, Dale?
Biblical giants who came from angels, sort of like angels mating, having sex with humans.
And that, can I tell you, we never get logistics from religion. And so that's what happens when you get logistics. How do you get a giant? Well, what if a human and an angel
did the naughty?
How does that get a giant? How does that make sense at all?
How would that be able to pass through the birth canal of a normal human woman without just did she detonate while giving birth because it was like 5 times bigger than a normal baby?
It's
I
not
don't
even
think
the angel giving birth. You're like,
no, it's the human woman.
Yeah. All of the
and this is the thing. They never think about the logistics of this stuff. It's, did God say, damn, they got them pregnant, I'll have to magically intervene so that these human angel hybrids can be born so that I can kill them later? I mean, and that's right, Aaron. We got the birds. We got the birds. He gave us the bird. I wish we had Big Screen Bird in here so we could give Neff the bird, but yeah.
Oh my.
He gave us the birds. Do you know that, Amy, if birds evolved from dinosaurs, why were there still dinosaurs?
Oh, I know, exactly.
How are there still dinosaurs?
If Americans exist, how are there still Europeans? Or, I guess, since we're an amalgamation of really all of it, how is there really any other country?
He's got that paper from that band, Birds Are Not Dinosaurs, which has like less than 0.1% of support among the biology community, whereas 99%, probably didn't even say what he thinks it says. He was probably quote mining, misinterpreting it. But, yeah. Dinosaurs are birds. That's the overwhelming consensus.
So what happens when giants have sex? Do 2 giants just make giants? What happens when a giant and a human has
maybe
sex?
It's like a
giant and angel has sex. Can I get a pie
maybe
chart?
Maybe it's like 2 giants have sex and they get a midget.
I
you
don't
get a dwarf. Maybe that's where
maybe someone even smaller, like Ant-Man.
Bubblegum Guns dwarfs came from. 2 giants having sex.
That's where maybe gnomes.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, the possibilities are endless when nothing is falsifiable. That's what I wanted to figure out
bullshit.
As well. Like, I wanted to know, okay, we come to a cave drawing. Neff says it's a dragon. You say it's not a dragon. How do we tell who's right?
Yeah, it's And
There's
if
no way
it
to
was,
falsify it. It's
if
just
it was,
for
we would see. There's so much other things we would see if dinosaurs and humans coexisted. You would see much more evidence, like we do for all the other animals that humans coexist with. Why do we have clear, unambiguous references to all these mundane animals that humans interact with? Why was the Bible so obsessed with goats, but it never bothered to mention dinosaurs? I mean, why is the Bible so obsessed with
And
goats and pigeons and all these other animals, but
once
never
again, it
mentions
sounds like a
dinosaurs?
fedora tip, but no, the Bible's weirdly obsessed with goats. It has rules, regulations, offers you in times of need to give goats to people in trading and
How to breed your
how to
goats, how
breed.
to not boil the kid goats in the mother's milk. That's one of the 10 Commandments. Apparently, it was a thing back then.
And sending love not just to Dale, sending love to Best in Show. Yay!
Oh,
But
Dave
also
Gar.
Dave Gar!
Dave Gar in chat.
You mean the world to us, all of you out there, especially sending love, Dave Gar. Cave drawings have fragile pigments. Wouldn't survive a global flood. That's true.
And he would just say, "Oh well, maybe they drew him after the flood." Yeah. Did he? He
Did
threw
we kill
out.
the dinosaurs? Why are there no more dinosaurs?
Oh, because we killed them, and because the conditions after the flood were inhospitable to them, so they couldn't thrive. Yeah, they couldn't.
Did he just say they got naturally selected?
Yeah, because the ice dome came down, so the oxygen wasn't enough for them, and
The oxygen's cut off somewhere, definitely. No,
they
I'm
had trouble
feeling it.
breathing. And so God went through all this trouble to have them on the freaking ark so that he could kill them within weeks or months after the flood. And fortunately, he did, because as soon as they got off the ark and the Tyrannosaurus Rex was now no longer a vegetarian, well, I mean, he's going to make a few different species that go extinct every day.
It's hard because, he wasn't always a vicious monster. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
No, he was. T-Rex used to eat grass.
But something terrible happened. An
The flood.
event that I'm not sure I'm going to be able to accurately put into words, but apparently a book did it for us. So it turns out that a long, long time ago,
In a galaxy far, far away. Oh,
yeah, basically in a galaxy far, far away, it rained. Like it rained
a lot. And it
a
rained.
lot.
And it kept raining. And just when you thought it couldn't rain anymore, it kept on raining. Even more.
Even more. And thus, no more dinosaurs. You see, couldn't fit on the ark. Just.
They could fit. Noah probably brought babies. They just died off very shortly after the flood. Noah, you what about babies? Just make sure you get a pink one and a blue one, because they're going to die right after anyway, so that's not important, but just do that anyway, because that's what God told you to do.
No, this makes sense. This is basically science. Can't you guys see it? Why don't we teach this in biology course?
Yeah. Apparently we will in 100 years, Amy.
Exactly.
Apparently we will.
Excuse me, 100 to 150, okay?
Yeah. We'll be back to the poof model.
The poof model.
I just wish you could show like a group of like evolutionary biologists and PhDs that quote and just listen to them laughing. Like, science is not, they're not even looking at does evolution. We know it happens. We know. We're learning about how it works, how it happened, how it's going to continue happening. We're not wasting time with these idiots who want to cling to these Bronze Age, Iron Age fables.
Yeah, that was the other thing. If you took a shot for every time that he said the word myth, like you'd have alcohol poisoning. If you had a toke for every time that he said the word dragon, you'd be doing all right. That's
Puff the
kind of
Magic Dragon.
weird. Like that's just kind of weird.
Puff of the Magic
You could,
Dragon.
yes, but I mean, who? I don't know. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about human and dinosaur coexistence. Spoiler
And
alert, did not happen.
I think I almost jumped out of my chair when he threw the Freemasonry thing out there.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
like, oh boy, he is really gone off the rails
Oh,
here. If
oh,
he thinks this is going to help him,
James. Whoa.
did we say a nod? Did we do a naughty?
Well, George is trying to say that we can't talk too much about the Freemasons or the Illuminati
We're giving our hand away.
or Glad plugins for some reason. What? Anyway, exactly. The Flintstones.
And where you can put Glade plugins. A never-ending array of options there.
James, an oldie but a goodie, but anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. But yes, Celtic love to so many people out there. We are about to open up to the open mic. This is our housekeeping on the debate.
We'll be open up pretty shortly.
Of Freeing Giants versus James W. on Humans versus Dinosaur.
Free of Giants.
I will link it in chat. I mean, I have to sending love out for standing for truth, for being a mod. You know, sending love. I still love our creationist brothers and sisters, even if we disagree. And I get the feeling that it's going to be for longer than 100 to 150 years that we're going to be teaching science. But setting love also to Scott Duke, the lead hyena of the pack, who reminds us that, yes, we are animals. There are other
that we
animals.
are.
It's just another triggering thing to them for some reason. The fact that, oh, how dare you? Are you saying we're monkeys? We should just be monkeying around?
Monkeying around.
A little bit. But no, I mean, basically, you should just keep on being yourself and being a decent human being. I really, who were we talking to the other day? I think on our last show, our Muslim brother, who I feel it was a very good question.
John Vance?
I feel like it was very apparent that without God, he would do A-okay and would not kill people. Maybe not emotionally. I don't know how he'd be doing, like, oh, no, God. But it seems pressed to shove, he would not kill people if there was evidence for no God being real. But, maybe John will come on and say we were strawmanning him. Maybe he would kill people without.
He probably
We've been told that.
I'm sure he would. Right? He would. He's a good guy.
Exactly. I honestly don't think that he would. What is up, assembly of
He
God?
was he asked a good question in the debate, so I appreciate that him interjecting. I don't remember the question, but it was very relevant.
I watched almost all of the debate. I'm just at the end of the Q&A, and so I'm sure that was probably it. But it was a good debate. Woo!
I tried to. I felt like I was getting mad at certain points of it because he was just saying like ridiculous stuff. I didn't want to come across too spicy, but damn, he just like slaps your intellect. It's almost like insulting that the things that he says to you that he assumes you're just going to accept the ridiculous things that he says. It's yeah.
sounds so weird. That's what she said. Or he. Also, sending love to Regos. Yay!
Yay!
Reminding us we have a Skeptic Bible study. And we do something apparently differently than other Bible studies. And that is, we read the Bible. Because we're going through a chapter through chapter. We don't just pick out the good stuff. Though we don't shy away from anything. Every once in a while we get that thumbs up in between slavery and genocide and, mass murder and stuff. But hey, who's counting? Sending love to Regos!
Thanks, Regos.
Woo! And also sending love, speaking of a book that would never consent to slavery, sending love to Rachel. That's right. Because it wouldn't be, I know, Gizmo, it wouldn't be that you would take slaves from the nations around you. I feel like thousands of years you would know that's objectively wrong.
But unless it's objectively right.
Exactly. Oh, well, and who do we get for the people, trying to come on and defend slavery? Almost always Christians, maybe a good Muslim or two, maybe a good Orthodox Jew. They are the ones who defend slavery.
It wasn't that bad. Come on.
It was the good slavery. It was the works program.
First of all, we heard it's not there, and we heard it's the good slavery. So the Bible does not condone slavery, period, but it condones the good slavery. It's not as bad as antebellum slavery. There are worse forms of slavery that you could have.
There was actually a specific thing that made it different from the transatlantic slave trade, and that is biblical slaves get googly eyes. Kind of makes things more fun.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, my lordy. Sending love to the wonderful, fantastic, fabulous Reid.
Bubblegum forgot his Ouija board. Oh, if he debated T-Jump, Bubblegum got absolutely flatlined. I'm sure he did.
Yo.
Yeah, that would be epic.
Is nothing but your friends working together to figure out what you all wanted to say anyway. So one of you may be controlling it more than the other. Maybe you're all contributing. The amount that the supernatural is selecting anything is 0. Is the amount that homeopathic medicine is curing whatever ails you.
Yeah, right. Let me see that planchette move on its own. Not with, there's 3 people touching it. No.
Oh,
let me see it move on its own. Yeah. Newman.
And my gavel's behind me, but we'll go. Sending love, Senator Cato, reminding us politically we should be trying to defend church and state, or the separation of. Because, well, it's the only thing defending us from a theocracy, and it's not going to be your religious views that come into power. Take my word for it. It'll be the guy behind you. God, the hell, Frank. It's always Frank. But sending love to Senator Cato and sending love to Matt D. Woo! Ooh, the universe in your hand, and I should have it turned on, but I don't. Jazz hands for visual effects. Here we go. It was worth it, ladies and gentlemen. The galaxy in the palm of your hand. And how do creationists say that it got here? Poof. mostly.
Oh.
But thank you, Matt Teague. And last but not least, sending love to the lovely James Wolfe, because we have many midnight rantings. In fact,
I
if
saw
you
him.
see the day outside, that will actually be a rare time. In fact, you have a better chance of seeing it go from the night to day. But we
Yeah, the
love
sun.
you, James
We
Wolfe.
see the sun come up frequently.
We love all of our Patreons. We love all of our channel members. We love all of our mods,
Subscribers.
people in chat, our subscribers and viewers like you who make this stream even possible, sending so much love. And yeah, we are actually about to open it up to
I don't know. April
the
bringing out the heavy hitting.
done.
The heavy.
Done. What is up, Megan? Sending so much love.
Doubting Thomas.
What is up, Maria? What is up, Ogre? What is up, everyone? We're about to go into
April Cox.
the
For bringing out the hard hitting logic there.
mic. Exactly. It's true. It is true.
A book
And
said a thing.
It all goes back to Applegate. That's what it always goes back to. All right? You have a snack, and the snack is just out there causing trouble.
It's a naughty snake.
Yeah.
It's a very naughty snake
He
game.
was being a bad boy.
He was being bad.
I forgot I organized it.
She
There we
spends, on average, 2 hours a day organizing her props.
Oh my goddess. Can I just tell you, I'm so happy. I'm finally, so I have large weapons. Okay. So we have large weapons. Of course. We have small weapons. You know, sometimes you gotta take people
Of course,
down.
she's got her
smaller
baseball
side.
bat of kindness.
Oh yeah, of course. In the large weapons, baseball bat of kindness.
Maybe we could get like a gay pride bat of kindness. Like,
James, it's funny you say that.
there you go.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Be gay into you.
That's right. That's what they think that we're doing. Apparently, we are, you know.
Listen, I mean, we've got to start pushing these puberty blockers more. We've got to start really,
kids gay.
I mean, setting the
2 billion years.
The gender reassignment mills outside of schools, so the kids can just go in a single file line all to get their surgery in elementary school.
And that is what they're trying to do, is create fear machines. They create the worst possible scenarios that they can think of in their heads. They shout that out.
Extreme scenario, as if it's what's happening in any type of large scale.
Big bat of understanding.
Global homo. I still remember that first stream when we had Claire on. Not the first stream. And then she's like, oh, this global homo agenda. And he's like, the only problem with global homo is we want more of it. We want more global homo.
50% global homo.
More people being with the people that they love and being happy.
How?
And if you want to be global homo, go be global homo. Who cares? Why would anybody think it's an issue, you being with the person that you love, no matter what gender they are? You do you. I mean,
for a second there was global homo.
Yeah. Over the whole globe, or the flat Earth. Yeah,
exactly,
ridiculous.
Flat Earth.
More people being happy, being with the people they love, regardless of gender, sex, or whatever. we could all only be so lucky, Assemblies of God. We were not all blessed in that regard.
The joke I always say is when I walk
Such an
into a
evil
room,
agenda.
I want to make, if I could just emanate bi and pansexuality, I'm doing my job.
Yeah. Oh, what about incest? Oh, right. It's funny when they do that
True.
because they promote a book that has lots of incest, chock full of incest, biggie size incest.
Do I have to get a prop rib? Look, guys, this is the scientific evidence for where women came from.
I think I threw that at Ken Hovind. Like, yes, but they did have to marry the brothers and sisters, but it was okay. It was okay back then because God just made it so that it would be okay. Wouldn't cause any ill effects or birth defects. Everything was okay.
Everything was
God
good.
did magic so the
We're
incest
fine. We're fine.
and then again after Noah, they all would have had to marry the most distant they could be would be first cousins. Yep. Wonderful.
Exactly. And all right, we're about to open up to the open mic.
That's probably right, Udef.
But
it's just how they're throwing it at us.
Speaking of which, and we're gonna go myself, then James, because I want to give him a chance to just say any final words on the subject. Yep. But then we're going to open it up so everyone else can say what they actually
will be open
about
before you know
the debate and just the subject itself. And please, if you think that dinosaurs and humans existed together, please join the stream. And I get it. You can make the chicken joke. Oh, we lived with blah, 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 and you're an atheist and a skeptic. You can make that joke once. I'll allow it. But
we're looking for people who think that humans lived with
and we're also
dinosaurs in the colloquial
I know skeptics. I know Tom and a lot of others are going to want to vent. That's actually what this time is for as well. But skeptics who want to vent and those who want to vent right back at us, come join us. But we are Skeptic and Ranting. We are about to move into the open mic, but before we do that, oh my, Dad, does God exist? Not yet. Anyway, did dinosaurs and man coexist? Put shortly, no. But if you'd like a longer explanation, no. Humans have only existed for only 100 to 200,000 years. Did not exist when the dinosaurs reigned supreme, or when they came to an end 65 million with an M years ago. Our ancestors were more shrew or rodent like, and we had our niche. And it wasn't until the fall of dinosaurs that mammals began to fill the space left behind. Though it is true to say a single species of dinosaur still lives. Your dinosaur chicken nuggets are redundant because birds are indeed the only living version of dinosaurs to survive. The mass global extinction, luckily, they've been pretty successful. Even having many analogous regions in the brain that mammals have. Wow. It's why crows are so damn smart. Nonetheless, the Flintstones is not a documentary. There has never been a time when a man walked along with massive dragon-sized lizards. So when we hear the question, did dinosaurs and man coexist? We have to wonder, would anyone propose this stuff beyond fiction writers or religion? At least with fiction writers, we get thought-provoking entertainment. When it comes to religious views, all we get is people trying to fight science in the classroom. As if any education system needs a bunch of religious schmucks trying to get their superstitious belief systems in and the actual science out. Thank you. And all right, James, are you looking to have a good time 65 million years in the making?
Yes. Yeah. So thanks everybody for coming along. Yeah. Jason, he did bring up the soft tissue and dinosaur. I don't think he named Mary Schweitzer. I don't think he name checked her, but he did bring that up. But it really wasn't a feature in the debate. We really didn't go too much into that. And yeah, but I thought it was a rock and roll debate. I had a lot of fun in the debate. I really tried to come at him as hard as possible without going too hard. Right. But
my.
It was a lot of fun, and I want to thank Neff for agreeing to do the debate, and SFT for hosting it. Yeah. Anyway, I think we said our piece on it, so we'll open it up here in just a few minutes. What do you think, Amy? Anything else you want to throw at me?
That sounds good. What do you... I'm about to send the link in the chat. What do you think the most, I don't know, silly, egregious... Ooh, excuse me. What was the biggest thing that caught your attention during the debate?
I'd have to say the fact that he kept going back to the idea that we can determine scientific truth, that we can determine reality, not by asking the experts, not by asking those who know what they're talking about. No. What you really should do is bring a bunch of children in and ask them what they think about his cave art and what they think is going on here. And I think that's a really, really, really silly thing to say, but he kept on doing it. and just his baseless assertion constantly that these drawings are clear, accurate, and depictions of dinosaurs that give us good evidence that overturns the entire scientific consensus. Everything we know about the natural world through the age of the world, radiometric dating, evolutionary biology, everything that tells us that this is not true. This is not what he's saying is not concordant with reality. Oh yeah, it's Gizmo up there, Luca. But he thinks a couple pictures that he's found out of the thousands of pictures of cave art that he's found a couple that he thinks kind of look like a dinosaur, and he's hanging his hat on that. But what he's done is he's wandered into a cave and he's found arrows stuck randomly in there. He's just gone in and painted targets around those arrows to make it look like he's getting hits, but he's not getting hits. He's grasping for straws because he doesn't have any good evidence. Because obviously, no, humans did not live with dinosaurs, except for birds, but dinosaur in the colloquial sense, though. What are you doing there, Gizmo? You ready, Amy?
Woo woo! Sounds good. And
it would be.
I have the hiccups, but we are ready. I am going to
Nephi
start
has
the open
came on.
mic. Oh my God.
Has came on the channel one time for about 5 minutes, and then he
and guess what he did?
Rage quit, and
Yes,
he's not
he
been
did.
back since. So I'm sorry about that. I wish he would come on and engage
And
with us,
the
but for some reason he doesn't want to.
Yeah, I would say the problem with Neff coming on is we would give him time to say his views, and then that would be like definitely the downfall. The moment that he started saying his views, then we'd get to question him on them. And
tell us about the Freemason conspiracy, Neff.
Oh my goddess! I swear it's always got to be the Mason. It's the Illuminati, the Jewish space lasers, but we are Skeptic and Ranting on Did Dinosaurs and Man Coexist, sponsored by Sugarwater. We are going to go into the open mic, and yeah, I will pin it
She
up
said
into
into.
Oh my! But we're looking once again for anybody who disagrees with us. You don't have to. I know a lot of
that's got to be a troll.
Like, oh, you just agree with us. Join or leave. No, if you're in sweatpants and eating ice cream, that's fine. Just chill.
You can troll from the chat.
Exactly. But if you want to join us, we would appreciate it. We love it. And we are now going to bring on Mark and Sinister in that order. We are sending love. We are Skeptic and Ranting, and we are moving into our open mic, I swear, in between. What is up, Mark Reid? We have missed you. It is lovely to see you. We are Skeptic and Ranting on humans and dinosaurs coexistence. No, you're not hallucinating.
Yeah, I knew the Flintstones was real. I knew it deep down all along. It had to be real. Too accurate.
I know. And didn't you? It was crazy. Every time that when I was a child that I took a Flintstones vitamin, I was eating history. But yes, exactly. And so, what are your thoughts? Debate, topic, anything in between?
So this one was. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on in the chat as well, and I was sort of paying attention to that. I was having a couple of arguments in the chat. I might have gotten a debate with CJ Cox though, which is hilarious.
On what?
He wanted to. I think that dinosaurs lived with man. I would love to do that. Because we went on about Marco Polo, and I was sort of saying Marco Polo isn't a biologist, and he thought that rhinoceros were unicorns, and she was like, no, they are unicorns, and I'm like, yeah, but not the unicorns that Marco Polo was talking about. And then we went on to mermaids, and I said, well, mermaids are manatees that sailors saw.
He thinks they're real.
He thinks they're literally mermaids. And it's sort of, well, I said, it's not, and it's like, well, if manatees were called mermaids instead of manatees, they would be mermaids. And I'm like, yeah, but they're not the things that the sailors described. What we're talking about here is stories coming back from explorers, sort of the here be dragons kind of stories. And they describe these beasts and they describe these things. And what we find out is the things that are actually there aren't really what they described. Like the Marco Polo story where he describes this massive creature could easily be a crocodile. And he's just, I thought it was brilliant. Your example with somebody catching a fish and, this big kind of thing, right? When it's tiny, is an excellent example of in human nature, we have a tendency to exaggerate, especially as Marco Polo was a trader. And part of his shtick was basically to tell these stories kind of thing to sort of...
He wanted to amp it up.
Right. It's pointless going halfway across the world and say, hey, I saw a little lizard, when you can say, hey, I saw a massive...
Who would buy that book?
Right. Neff started out with shifting of the burden of proof right out of the gate. It's the first thing I noticed. He basically went, you have to prove that dinosaurs didn't live with man. And it's like, wait, hang on a second. What? You're the affirmative here. You're saying dinosaurs did live with man. So I think he just wanted to get in a burden shift straight out of the gate. The art was like... Art is art. Like, I mean, that's obviously, a complete, tautology, but artistic license is a thing. And these things that you're showing, they don't really look like dinosaurs except in the vaguest way possible. They have a tail, they have a head, they have a long neck. And people take artistic license. I mean, I could draw, and my example was I could draw a Jabberwocky, from the Alice in Wonderland story of the Vorpal Blade and the Jabberwocky. Now, that doesn't exist, but someone can draw it. When we have primitive peoples telling tales, they can draw things from their imagination. Maybe they saw a skeleton of something and imagined it bigger and larger, and maybe it was something small, maybe it was distorted and that put an idea in their head. We don't know where this came from. And I think you're right that sort of ignoring all of the science to go, well, someone had put this really badly drawn art somewhere is just, it's ludicrous. And the main thing that I wanted to get to, I do apologize for taking so long, but I really want to. So I looked up this paper on the birds that Nephi was going back to, and I was sort of half having... See, what irritates me is that Neff, while debating someone, will drop other comments in the chat, and I find it insulting because his opponent can't go to the chat and address these comments. It's basically putting little snide remarks in the chat, so you can't be challenged on them. To me, it's dishonest. You're
trying to engage the debate, not looking at side chat the whole time.
A young Earth creationist being dishonest? How dare you, good sir?
But it's not just that. It's the fact that if you're going to make claims and present evidence and present an argument, you present it to the person you're debating with, not somewhere that they can't address
peanut
it.
gallery, yeah.
Right, the peanut gallery. You're basically sort of, going into the audience and saying, hey, he's wrong because of this kind of thing. No, that's not what you're there to do. I find it very, sort of really, really dishonest by Ness.
You do that in the after show. You do that in the after show.
Exactly. Do it in the after show. Do it after the debate. I think it's not right. I just don't like it. That's a personal opinion, but I don't like it. Yeah, so this is whole genome analyses resolve early branches of tree of life of modern birds. Now, nowhere in this does it even suggest that birds live with humans. What it actually does is sort of just go, well, the formation of modern birds is a bit earlier than when we thought it was. So he's going on about this dotted line in the chat. He's saying, oh, this dotted line, it's at 50 million years. That shows that birds lived with dinosaurs. It's like, hold on a second. Hey, let's think about what you're saying. You're saying 50 million years. You're a young Earth creationist. You know, why are you saying? And plus, dinosaurs lived between, I think it's 230 to 66 million years ago.
Over 100 million years, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, the very last point when you can sort of, because I mean, evolution makes it very tough to sort of determine where dinosaurs and birds began. You know, something like Archaeopteryx, which is sort of a dinosaur bird with teeth kind of thing. Like that's sort of, you know, the very end stages of the dinosaurs. But you know, the whole point is that if dinosaurs, the very last you can sort of place them at is 66 million years ago, and birds started at 50 million years, hold on a second, birds didn't live with dinosaurs. The problem here is Neff hears 50 million years ago and says, oh, well, that's a long time ago. They must have lived with dinosaurs. Yeah, Neff, but dinosaurs lived, there's 16 million years in between when dinosaurs ended and birds began. And we're not saying that, oh, nothing existed during that time. We're just saying that there was a progression during that where we wouldn't classify dinosaurs as dinosaurs anymore. And sort of modern birds came later.
Yeah. Modern birds did not live with dinosaurs. They were not modern birds by any sense.
The problem is that Neff is using this paper and mischaracterizing it. He is misrepresenting it. And it always makes me very, very... it irritates me because they will cherry pick through a paper, get one thing out of it, make conclusions that the paper does not make, and then parade around holding up the paper like it supports their position. And it doesn't. This paper does not support Neff's position in any way, shape, or form. It just does not. But he holds it up like it's concrete evidence, and it's misrepresenting somebody's work. It's annoying. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out of my system because it's something that really annoyed.
What he's trying to say is like, look at this animal from this time. It kind of looks like a modern duck. Therefore, it's a modern duck because it looks like a duck. If it looks like a duck, it's got to be a duck, right? No, Neff, no. I'm sorry. It doesn't just because you think it superficially looks like a duck does not mean it's a modern duck.
That's right. It might be of a neodavies, a genus that contains all of these things because that's how cladistics works. But a duck is not just, all ducks are not the same species of duck. And all doves aren't the same species of doves. And, that they have a nested hierarchy of how they've developed over time. So when you're talking about modern birds, that did not overlap dinosaurs. It just didn't. But, and I mean, Neff's irritating. He tries to turn it into a dumpster fire. He really does. That's his purpose. He tries to just drag it down into an argumentative fight because that's where Neff
doesn't have anything.
No, he doesn't.
Nothing.
He has some drawings that he personally thinks prove his point, and nobody agrees with him. He's got some really half-baked stories from Marco Polo meant to stack that up against the fossil record that we've got. I don't know how many fossils we've got. The fossils of dinosaurs that have been dated by scientific means, the amount of times that's been done, just the empirical evidence that we've got. He's got to just have a dumpster fire because he's not going to win on actual arguments.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Mark, for your analysis.
No, you did really well. Your opening was really good. It got dragged into a dumpster fire, but that's not your fault, James. That's Neff.
I tried to be succinct, and I caught myself getting mad at him, like, because he says these ridiculous things. I don't want to take to that level, but you know.
And I just have to. I still have the hiccups, but I just have to bring up that I might have gotten a tiny dumpster fire if anyone was interested. So now we can all have our own.
You need to put LPP's logo on that.
Yeah.
But thank you so very much, Mark.
I think that's actually 100% accurate picture of Maddox. That is 100%.
The resemblance is uncanny.
It really is. It really is. Thank you so much. I wanted to get out of my system, but I had a great time arguing in the chat. It was a bit surreal. You know, you kind of talking to people that for some reason, and I mean the other thing was the tracks. Oh God, the tracks. Like the tracks were. He thought it was human footprints that had collapsed to form dinosaurs. It wasn't. It was dinosaur footprints that had collapsed to look like human tracks, and some of the tracks that were touted as human in Pulaxi River, the Pulaxi tracks, they were forgeries, and the people admitted later that it was forgeries. Like it's surreal. It really is.
The thing is, if humans really lived, we would see those kind of things, formations all over the world, right? Why would we just have it in one place in Texas of all places? I'm just saying, not like the people there would have any type of bias or, you know, I'm sure they're straight shooters all about that science, right? They just want to know what the evidence shows.
Yeah, so apparently some of the tracks in Pulaxi River, George Adams, he claimed to have found human footprints in the Glen Rose Formation. He later admitted that Adams and some other fossil footprints were a hoax. And they explained that during the 1930s, during the Great Depression, their grandfather and other residents made money making moonshine and selling dinosaur fossils.
Yeah.
So when supplies ran low, they just carved some more with some human footprints thrown in, some fake fossils. This area has had a long history, but some of the tracks are real, and they kind of look like human footprints at a squint, but they are just dinosaur tracks that have caved in to look like human footprints. Right. That's all. That's it.
That's it. That's all, folks.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much, Mark.
Thank you. Good job, James.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
And all right, we're going to get Sinister and then James Wolfe. But once again, I'm giving a shout out for any creationists, old, young, medium, whatever your type of creationist.
Come on, look at this creationist in chat.
Yeah. Come in. Tell me if I am wrong.
Is that Terry?
No, this is creationist.
Oh,
well, if
it's the extreme bird.
Give him the bird.
If there is somebody out there that thinks I'm wrong, come on and tell me why. I'd love to hear why.
I want to see that
outweighs. Yeah, absolutely.
CJ Cox. I want to see that CJ Cox debate. That would be epic.
I gave him. I said to Donnie, set it up. So he's the one that wanted the debate, so I'm not going to chase around after him. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing it. I'm good.
Do
it. Thank you so very much, Mark. Sending love. Stick around for the open conversation. And we're going to get the Sinister Porpoise. What is up? Looking fabulous. Hope you're doing well tonight. We are Skeptic and Ranting. I'm going to say it again, just I think for my own sanity. But you're not hallucinating. We are talking about did humans and dinosaurs coexist? What are your thoughts about the debate, the topic? Anything?
Well, first, I wanted to come back to something you said earlier about holding the galaxy in your hand. This is my cell phone. I am literally holding a galaxy in the palm of my hand.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good to see you broke away from Applegate.
How can you tell me humans don't live with dinosaurs? I went to the movie a couple days ago and saw a literal documentary where I'm pretty sure there was this theme park that they genetically engineered dinosaurs and brought them back to life. I think the first documentary, the point was don't underpay your IT staff.
Literally.
Unfortunately,
also to say the words "clever girl." I'm fairly sure that was the entire point of the movie. I think. What were we talking about anyway? Sinister Porpoise. Yeah. We are. What did you think about the debate, or just generally humans between? What do you think? 6,000 or billions?
I'm gonna have to go with the 4.6 billion year camp on that one.
Yeah.
Because 6,000 is about the time we develop civilization in written writing.
You're not gonna go with the poof model?
Well, I don't know if they can convince me that DNA is information somehow.
And that was like, I was surprised he went the LPP route. I have to, if I ever debate Neff again, I have to remind myself that he does the same genes information dance. Where have you ever seen information like that before? Nowhere, because it's naturally forming.
Can we please stop trying to bring informatics into this debate? It doesn't belong there.
Well, and I mean, I don't mean to. I only do because I didn't notice that is that's a creationist shtick, and I didn't know that Neff did that. But you're right that it had nothing.
He dabbles in all forms of
in fact, evolution has nothing to really do with the debate, but he really kind of drags it in there because reasons.
I was hitting his religion, so he kind of felt the need to push back on that. That's fine. I'm more than willing to engage with him on it, even though it wasn't the debate.
Anyway,
yeah. No. Anything else you would like to say, Sinister?
The sad thing is, what was I doing? Probably trying to work. There's a statistics midterm coming up, and even though the class has been easier than I thought it would be, it's just I want to make sure I get this class out of the way, because that way, if I stick with machine learning, I've only got one more math class to do, and it's Calc 2, and it's not immediate.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I switch over to information science so I can get done sooner, I don't have to take any more math classes. They're math classes. But yeah, Dinosaurs and Man
Coexist. So you didn't get. You're saying you didn't get to watch the debate because you were studying. Yeah, it's all right.
Well, I was actually working on a JavaScript program that does Newton's method too. But
hey, I'm sure you can imagine what was said.
Because you were supposed to, or because you were like, "Fuck my physics homework, I'm going to make a program."
Physics? Not taking physics. Statistics.
Gotcha.
Statistics, Newman. Focus.
Focus. But I guess that is the homework. That's all I was trying to make the joke out of.
No, it's actually something I promised the calculus professor I wouldn't do while I was in the calculus class.
Okay, so you are doing what I thought the joke was if you're making a program for it. Okay, just instead of physics and statistics. Okay. Hey, look, if you can make a program for it, that's all that matters.
Where's Athena?
But
back on the chair.
Oh, that's Athena.
I know. I saw her pre while you were back there. I have an eye for kitties. But yes. Anything last on the topic? That's okay that you didn't see, because I saw the other half of it when I was coming home today. But any last thoughts on just this? I mean, I was getting borderline, just like James was. I mean, I try and keep my cool, but it's just so he says such silly things with such confidence. It's why rhetoric is such a useful tool, because you just say things that are so ridiculous with such confidence, like
absolute sure of yourself,
that we should just peer review it by showing it to. We should show the pictures or the drawings to children. And when the drawings confirm that they are drawings of dinosaurs, there
take
you
all
go.
modern science and throw it in the dumpster. Get rid of it because the kids think otherwise.
Somehow I missed the ridiculousness that was NephilimFree over the years, but I've heard plenty of others be just as ridiculous. And it seems a lot of these...
He's one thing I think kind of ridiculous.
But one thing I think that's interesting that needs to be touched on here is, if you sound confident, you can convince people that you know what you're talking about, even if someone who knows the field and may not be as a confident public speaker as you can't. I mean, if you put... Let's put PZ Myers up against Kent Hovind. Do you think PZ Myers is going to win? In the minds of people who don't know? Maybe, but I think Kent Hovind's going to be more forceful. Because Kent Hovind has this spiel, and he's a really good public speaker.
Charisma. He speaks with confidence. Yeah, charisma.
Well, and if you could make people laugh, you go a long way into convincing people.
He integrates comedy.
That's what Kent's trying to do, like a third of the time. And so Kent can spend all this time doing things that aren't being a professor, because he's not a do.
Dr. Kent, science jet.
Hey.
But yes, look, I love everyone out there, our theist brothers and sisters. Yeah, I'll keep on saying it. Any other last words, Sinister?
Yeah, and we love peer review papers, but the thing is, a lot of the people reading these papers don't understand them. These are for a specific audience, and it's okay to admit you didn't understand a paper after you read it. Most of people in the side chat probably aren't going to understand, like, the computer science papers I've read.
Right.
I don't understand a lot of, like, physics papers. It's fine.
They're not written for the general public. They're written for people who know the subject.
But anyone who takes a biology course, like Biology 101 course, from a community college can easily know that Kent Hovind doesn't know what he's talking about.
Amen.
I think a lot of people who took middle school science could also tell that Kent Hovind doesn't know what
I'm going to spread that over to all of young Earth creationism, and I'm just going to send love. Thank you so very much, Sinister Porpoise. Stick around for the open conversation, and I love the matching.
It's a bird feather, right? Or dinosaur feather.
James Wolfe, what is up? We are Skeptic and Ranting on... That's right. Once again, none of us have taken anything. We are talking about humans and dinosaur coexistence. Was the Flintstones a documentary? I hope you're doing well. What are your thoughts about the debate, the topic, everything in between?
Well, I was just perusing the Creation Today website, and there's a wealth of information here on this topic. Actually, I'm well out on in this area.
You're coming in. Your audio's a little robot-y.
Oh,
James.
Yep.
Whoa.
A bit robotic. Yeah.
Satin might have taken him.
Maybe he's resetting his connection.
And if you can still hear us, James, turn off your camera. Sometimes that helps. That's
what he said. Oh.
Well, we see you. But even if we don't see you, we might still be able to hear you if you turn that. So, are you still here? Can you hear us?
I think he.
Yeah, that's okay. So James,
Hopefully, your
well,
connection issues will get better.
I think we're going to go into open conversation. And we will let him do an intro when he joins, since that is what we are now moving into. I will remind everyone, I'll send it again into the interwebs if they would like to join, though it is pinned, that we are looking for those, especially views different from our own.
I tell you what, James, if you want to shoot me something, mate, I might have a chat to you on Discord or something, or somehow, and see if we can figure out why your connection is terrible. Hopefully, you're not on dial-up or something.
Well, he mentioned something about a storm, and depending on his connection, that could be it.
Yeah, it depends on what he's using. I mean, most connections in Australia are being converted over to fiber optic, and the backhaul's obviously fiber and underground, so storm shouldn't affect that. It's light, so whether it affects any kind of internal network that he's got, maybe. Yeah, but I'll have a chat to him and see if we can figure it out. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to get him back on. Let's do. James Wolfe, what is up? We are having fun. We are skeptic and ranting. We are talking human and dinosaur coexistence. How are you? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm good. How's my audio this time?
Much better.
Way better.
Good.
Cool. My apologies. Sorry for these ongoing issues. Anyway,
Welcome back.
Turn your torrents off.
Well, a depth in that I was reading on a little site called Creation Today about apparently scientifically we've discovered that fossilization does not take millions of years. Have you heard that one?
Yes, and I heard
requires the right conditions.
Yeah.
So
they claim that fossils and deep rapid burial, I think, is the one that Kent goes on about.
Well, they have discovered, I think, fossilization would be quicker.
A huge catastrophic event. That's what it needs. But there's heaps of. It's apparently it looks like it's one of Eric's big things. He's got a bit of a. He's a bit fanboy about the whole dinosaurs and dragons thing. But I was, first of all, James, good job. Obviously, I haven't seen the whole debate, but one thing that really struck me early on the debate was you pointed out how,
Oh, we lost you.
This is something where it's going on with his camera. Maybe he's playing with some software options. I don't know.
The world has turned upside down.
Well, he does come from the land.
Land down under.
Well, I come from the land down under. It's fine. It's
Mark's
absolutely
like,
fine.
the internet's fine. What are you doing?
I'm further away from the US.
It's good. It's good.
Than James is.
Oh,
so.
Well, we have someone coming to join us. So, James, we're gonna let you. We're gonna give you your. No, you're good. And then we're gonna get Jason on, but we're handing it right back to you, James.
Oh, look, what I was going to say is just, James, with one thing you pointed out early was that, that how much the Christian side has tried to assimilate the dinosaurs' discovery into their own mythology, and how it was a significant obstacle for them. Obviously when these fossils were first discovered, and how much it contradicted with their narrative, but how much all the works have gone into to assimilating it into their own narrative. And, I mean,
from at first there was a controversy of whether the devil planted the bones in the dirt to test their faith. That was a a serious contention that was going on. Maybe this is Satan testing our faith until they had to drop that and say, no, these are real. We actually have to deal with them.
I think what would be interesting if
I was looking at sorry, Sinister, go on.
I think what would be interesting if someone wanted to do like a documentary style thing of a history of how creationism has evolved. Because it really has evolved. It's gone from saying every species was created as it is to until basically evidence keeps correcting everything they're trying to point out. It's like, and now they're even accepting some forms of evolution after the flood.
Yeah. The microevolution, but not macroevolution thing. Yeah, no, I agree. They've had to shift begrudgingly back because of the weight of the evidence. But yeah, there's certain lines that I think there's certain things that they can't cross no matter the weight of evidence. Like the Adam and Eve thing. If Adam and Eve don't exist, original sin doesn't exist. If original sin doesn't exist, then there's no reason for hell. And then sort of it really does.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you we'll let James finish if he had any more remarks to make before we move on to Jason.
Look, just about Job 41, and I remember it was always cited as a biblical evidence of a dinosaur. I don't know. I've kind of, it seems more consistent to me that the dragons in the Bible, they've always been cited as yes, in the same way that the serpent has, they're sort of an adversary to God. And that kind of is led into, that sort of feeded into European mythology surrounding the dragon. If you take it back to St. George and the slaying of the dragon, it's obviously a really prominent archetype in European storytelling. Anyway, I'm sorry, it's sort of just free association thinking there, but
no, not at all. In fact, you are allowed to rant.
I think the most mentions of it comes up in the book of Revelation, which is obviously, extremely steeped in metaphor. Anyway, but good job, Jeff. Look forward to listening to the rest of the debate. But yeah, awesome job as always.
Anyway, if any of you know Aaron Ra, maybe you can get him to do a project like that.
And thank you so very much, James Wolfe. And all right, we're going to get 2 more people in, and we'll just keep it free flow conversation as we get these guys in, but we want them to get their intros. Jason Torn, what is up? We are Skeptic and Ranting on... Nope, this is real. Human and dinosaur coexistence. Hope you're doing well. What are your thoughts about the debate, the topic? And oh my,
Thanks,
we
Ian.
do have to send a big love to Ian Davenport.
$5 Aussie. Thank you, Ian.
Basically is like mic drop. Thank you so very much, Ian.
$5 dues.
Sending love, sending love.
Thanks, Ian.
You're making this grow. You know that, right?
Her collection is getting worse, and you are enabling her.
But yes, thanks so much, love, Ian. And
Jason, we lost James again.
That's okay. We'll get him back from Saturn. Once again, like Satan, but 50% softer. But, Jason, we are Skeptic and Ranting. We are apparently talking about human and dinosaur coexistence. There really are humans who apparently believe the opposite. So, what are your thoughts about the debate, the topic, or anything we've been talking about tonight?
Yeah. Welcome the good doctor on. Welcome aboard, Jason.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
We hear you good.
Great. Okay, yeah. Nephilim Free is always a difficult person to debate because he he's gish galloping you with a million things. So I think you did a pretty good job of that. Again, I compare him to like Darth Dawkins. Like he's very wiggly. He he interrupts. He name calls. He's using every tactic in the book to try to, just like what Mark was saying, going into the chat and putting in content, instead of just directly, directing it to you. These are the only things that somebody like that can actually say to try to win the argument, because they can't really win the argument on the actual evidence. They have to use these kind of disingenuous techniques to look good.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that, there's so much evidence that dinosaurs did not exist with humans. If you want to redefine what a dinosaur is,
right,
you can try to do that. But the rock record and the mass of geoscience supports dinosaurs as not living when humans lived, period. And somebody in the chat was trying to say the rock record is incorrect. If it almost is like, and I'll be very brief, I'll like 30 more seconds, that if
you're good, Jason.
That if you want to make the claim that dinosaurs did not live with humans, then you kind of indirectly are leading to a point where you're saying that the Earth is not 4.5 billion years old, or that the manner in which we evaluate the rock record is incorrect, and that the way that we are dating the rock strata are wrong. And that brings up a whole other group of things that are in opposition to that position. So it just kind of snowballs when you make that statement.
Right.
It snowballs into all these other areas where you're like, well, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? These are all corroborated areas. What do you have to say about that? They can do is the same thing in the Bible, is that they're just looking for anything to solve that one problem that you bring up. And then when you bring up another problem, they're looking for anything they possibly can do to solve that one problem. But it doesn't all hang together. Those issues all contradict each other. It's not a cohesive model. So it's just dumb. I'll stop.
And that's why, like when you're talking to Ken Hovind, he is so big on talking about one topic at a time, right? Because he can ad hoc his way through one explanation. The problem is, like you say, it's going to cause problems in other areas. It's going to cause contradictions. And once you start looking at that and the implications of that, the whole thing falls apart. But if you can't talk about that because it's a different subject, it's a different topic, we'll do that another debate that'll never happen, then he looks like he actually has, like, his ad hoc explanation might be legitimate when it's not.
Yeah. And I've seen Nephilim do the same old, like, he loves showing the pictures. He loves showing the picture of what somebody drew, and then the picture in some book of a dinosaur, and go, oh my God, these look the same. I'm like, that doesn't prove anything. I don't even know, like he was showing like a, what was a triceratops, not a triceratops. Yeah, but yeah, he was showing like differing dinosaurs and trying to say, I've seen him do this a bunch of times. This is a thing he goes to all the time. I find it to be a really weak argument. So,
but hey, if we bring in a bunch of fourth graders and ask them, they'll think it looks pretty similar. So maybe we can just throw off science out and bring in the kids and see what they think. Right.
I mean, you could go like, I was waiting for you to bring up something like, if you go to Egyptian hieroglyphics, you see pictures of things that look like helicopters. So does that mean that their helicopters were back during, were helicopters during Egypt? It looks like a helicopter, therefore it must be helicopters in Egypt. Is that a reasonable inference to make? Yeah.
Or was Horus real? Because they depicted him in great detail with an owl's head on the body of a man. Does that mean that's good evidence he was real? Of course not. Of course not. And that was something I was thinking of. But like you say, he does gish gallop so much that you're going you're blowing around from one topic to the next. It's hard to keep a good footing.
Yeah, exactly.
And all right, I'm just gonna send love out there into the interwebs, into chat. Woo.
Sure as hell
What's
puts it
up,
up,
Nick?
Our new member there.
And then exactly, we are celebrating sending so much love to a grumpy old Cuss.
Thank you, Grumpy. Been a long time supporter of the show.
Exactly.
He's just a great guy.
And thank you
Hail
guys
Satan.
so much for the support. We're gonna, I think, round 2 of emojis are about to come out, but feel free, guys.
The more members she gets, the more emojis she can add. So you guys are just enabling.
I love it when you say member. Do it again.
Oh my, a very large member. But we want to get a whole bunch of like different fallacy.
Different fallacies.
Now, see, now I'm just the.
Actually, could I just mention one thing quickly? And it sort of reminded me when Jason talked about it. Not only was he gish galloping, he moves subjects. As soon as you start to try and pin him on one subject, he'll move off and go to something else. Like, I got to criticize Donnie here, standing for truth, because he went on to abiogenesis, I think. He was sort of talking about, oh, but where did it all come from? And it's like, hang on a second, you're in a debate about dinosaurs here. Like, why would you go to the origin of life? I don't. Was that just me? Did I get the wrong debate or something?
No, it's not. He's not the only one that does that. Like Kent Hovind has 6 or 7
levels of evolution.
However many he's up to now, and only like 2 of them have anything to do with biology. He starts with how did it start, or how the Big Bang came about. That's not evolution. Evolution can only start after life starts, or after life reproduces.
Biology,
Right.
It's not.
So I think you've got to jump on that quickly. I think as soon as they start to deviate, you've got to. Thanks, Amy.
Wrangle them back.
Can't help myself.
You've got to jump on it and really pound the actual subject. Are you happy, Amy? Really pound that actual subject. Instead of letting them like dictate it, because I noticed he did it every time you actually were starting to pin him on something. He was like off to this other subject. It's infuriating. I
No.
Yeah.
I should have asked him, like, according to the Levitical laws, would dragons okay for them to eat, right? Because notice it mentions dragon, but it never tells us do they chew the cud? Do they part the hoof? I mean, he goes over every other animal virtually that they would ever come in contact with, but he never talks about dragons like that.
Well, if they're land
James was sorry, Porpoise. Go ahead, man.
Well, no, I want to say, if you want Porpoise, say one more thing. We're gonna get Leo, and then it looks like Immutable join.
Leo.
Well, I think dragons are kosher if they're land-based, but if they're sea dragons, that falls into seafood, and they're not kosher.
Right.
That's true. Or if you have cheese on a dragon. We're talking
I want to know how
real subjects tonight.
I want to know how the biology of something fire breathing actually works. You know, like how does that?
James
Hovind has a video on it.
Yeah,
really, I've got to see that.
Because it's it's in his Leviathan one, which is the same talk where he famously talks about beating his son Eric Hovind for being afraid of the dentist, who is in that. Yeah, he gleefully reports to the audience, smiling about beating his son for twitching in the dentist chair. Yeah.
What?
You have to listen to it, and it will probably curdle your blood.
More gravity experiments that every once in a while will hopefully get peer reviewed.
Leviathan, the fire-breathing dragon. Yeah.
But you stand corrected. You stand. Yes. Okay. Something low. And we're getting Leo in here.
Leo.
I think Leo was just debating.
He was debating T-Jump on Marxism versus capitalism. Yeah. I got to see a little bit of it.
I bet it was spicy. Oh,
It was, but
let's get him.
From what I saw,
here.
Leo held his own. I have to say.
Oh,
Yeah,
my.
Leo definitely held his own. T-Jump actually got to the point of saying, "I don't want to debate anymore. Question time, done debating." Yeah, so
I mean, if you were to
definitely
put capitalism
T-Jump
and some sort of communism, Marxism, I'm really in between. So I'll let them fight over it, and I'm gonna bring them in. Leo Felius, what is up? We are Skeptic and Ranting. We are. There's just a few episodes. It was, I think, the Alien and Demons one. I kept on having to like check myself. But Leo, we apparently are talking about humans and dinosaurs coexisting. It's not real. I don't think. Please tell me so.
It's real.
What do you think about the debate, the topic, anything in between?
Well, quickly, I just wanted to clarify. The debate was just Marxism on trial. Capitalism wasn't actually a subject of the debate, at least not directly. Yeah. Indirectly, it will be, because Marxism is largely a criticism of society as it operates under a capitalist mode of production. Also, I wanted to say I don't think the debate really got that spicy. I think it was fairly respectful. Towards the end, because I just kept reiterating to T-Jump that he just hasn't. He's just said, yeah, there were some guys who wrote some papers where they said they don't think that the tendency of the rate of profit to fall happens. So I'm just going to go with what they say, and then didn't explicate particularly what they said, and didn't give any arguments against why I should disbelieve that, or the labor theory of value broadly, or anything like that. And I just kept pressing him to give me arguments and give me the inference for the claims that he's making. He just didn't. No, respectfully, obviously, but yeah, he just didn't do that. Setting that aside, no, obviously, human beings, there are no forms of great apes that I know of that lived alongside dinosaurs. I don't think there's any apes at all that could have been said to live alongside dinosaurs. And all you need to do is just look at the stratigraphic layers to see that. I mean, that's it. That's it. That's all that needs to be said.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Leophilius. And go check out Modern Day Debate so you can see T-Jump and Leophilius debate.
Marxism on trial.
And
don't read the comments, because everybody commenting in opposition to me is it has just as poor an understanding of Marxism as T-Jump apparently did.
I got to admit,
socioeconomics
are not my strong point. So I don't know. I just support a mixed economy because that's what seems to be working right now. But I got to admit, I don't understand a lot of that stuff.
But James Wolfe, you said you wanted to say something really quickly, and then we're going to get a mutable and then we're going to be quickly and then do outros.
Yeah, sorry, just wanted to quickly jump in, just say, Leo, I've just really enjoyed your content recently. I know it's a bit of a diversion from the topic, but just on the one on PragerU,
any attack on PragerU.
I'm a bit of a lapsed Marxist, Leo. So, but one thing that drove me crazy has always driven me crazy, all the fallacies surrounding Marxism, and that just hit the nail on every one. It was just incredible. But I loved your dissection. I loved the conversation with T-Jump too. That was really cool. I still have I find myself still thinking in a real dialectical sense. I've got I've got a lot of Marxist baggage, shall we say. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, Leo. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, the PragerU was a fun one because oh my god, PragerU's content is just it's PragerU. That's about all.
You can't say much else about it. It's PragerU.
I just want to say my favorite part of Marx is where he says the proletariat should willingly give up their guns, because that's certainly what everyone thinks he says.
Yeah, I remember where he said that. He made it very clear that his position was everybody should give up their guns. Yep, totally correct. Yeah, I agree.
Totally.
All right, we are gonna let Immutable in and do about 10-15 more minutes. I wish we'll do a lot more content coming up in the days to come, but we are going into also the after show on Discord, or at least it will be open.
Welcome aboard, Immutable.
Immutable.
Thanks.
We are Skeptic and Ranting. on one last time.
Yeah, it's real.
No, it's real. There are people that really do believe that humans and dinosaurs coexisted. And so
I read that commandment, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I saw that rule in the last Disney movie. But yes, we are Skeptic and Ranting on dinosaur and human coexistence. Hope you're doing well. What are your thoughts about the debate, the topic, or anything we've been talking about tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Leo by and large that I don't think any species of humans nor any of our recent ancestors that are great apes lived with dragons or dinosaurs for that matter.
Boom.
Yeah.
There we go. Boom shakalaka.
Consensus.
Okay, here's the most important question for tonight. Do you think dragons are kosher or not kosher?
That is what the chat seems to be obsessed about, yes.
Were they?
That is a good
was
question.
the meat blessed by the rabbi? That's what makes something kosher, whether it's been blessed by a rabbi or not.
But you couldn't bless pork. You couldn't bless pork.
Yeah, but they don't eat
kosher
because they don't eat pork.
Right.
Blessing
would
pork
it be
cannot
able
remove the
to
uncleanliness from it?
So was it clean? Would it be able to be clean?
No.
Dragon meat.
And feel free to take these conversations over to the In Time channel because he loves conversations about like this in the chat repeatedly.
Nick in time.
Are there dragons in the Bible?
There's
it
a lot more
mentions dragons in the terms of
figurative one. Yeah. I mean, James mentioned it earlier that the creation. What was it? Creation something or other. Creation Today. Which is, I think,
Eric Coven. No, Eric Coven, yeah.
It is Eric Coven, okay. That has an article basically saying, was Leviathan a dragon? Yes, here's why, because it says it breathes fire and it says it does it. It's just,
Look,
Christians... Wasn't that the classical understanding of what the Leviathan was, though? Like in Near East mythology, that it was a dragon.
Why don't we just
it's been retrofitted, sort of thing.
Why don't we just admit that Christians just are no different than people who think Harry Potter is real? So they believe in dragons. They believe that animals can talk. They believe literally in magical spells and incantations. What more? Do we need to show? What's the difference between somebody who thinks Harry Potter is real and a Christian?
Because 2,000 years. Harry Potter's inspired by Satan, and Christianity is clearly God. Whatever.
There we go.
Best response.
Checkmate, atheists.
I think the apologetic is largely.
It's largely what?
I think is largely based around how supposedly prolific and widespread the mention of dragons is through various cultures that supposedly had no contact with each other. That's sort of that's the apologetic that's thrown around that I've heard the most.
Yeah, but if you look at dragons,
but as Mark says, it's just in the vaguest possible terms,
Like if you look at the dragons from Chinese mythology, they're nothing like the dragons from Western mythology. Very snake-like.
Are they dragons or are they like wyverns or something?
Well, no, they're completely different.
All these terms are interchangeable.
Yeah, but I mean, dragons of Chinese mythology don't usually breathe fire, and they, it's just there's no robustness of this theory. It doesn't. People that look at it in different cultures get different results. There's a myriad of mythical creatures that don't exist. You've got the Greek mythology, you've got minotaurs and chimeras, and you've got the sort of Western Germanic, like cockatrice, and I think that's Germanic, or maybe Celtic. But anyway, you've got a myriad of mythological creatures from all different cultures around the world, and they don't line up with one another to say, hey, dragons exist because the Chinese cultures have dragons and Western ones, but they're clearly two completely different mythological creatures, and we don't find fossils. we don't
They had
find
different words for them. We're just applying the term dragon. I'm sure the Chinese had theirs would not sound like dragon. It would sound much different. We're just looking at it and saying, oh, that's kind of like a dragon.
Yeah, but would the referent be the same? I mean, I could call God God, but a Muslim would call him Allah, and somebody from Mexico would call him, what was the word there? Dios, I believe. But is the referent the same? I would say that it is. The sound is different, but they're all referring to the same exact concept.
Nah, some of them are contradictory.
Well, I was more of a question. I'm not saying that like in mythology because for me, I take like sort of a fantasy approach. What the Chinese were describing wouldn't have been dragons. I think it was like wyverns that they would have been, because I don't think wyverns breathe fire. But that's going into like fantasy and a bunch of different areas of fantasy and stuff. So.
Yeah. Now we're trying to create a taxonomy on mythical creatures. God help you on that one.
Hey, cryptozoology.
Don't forget that wyverns had wings and Chinese dragons did not. They flew through the power of a pearl embedded in their head, I believe, if I'm remembering my Chinese mythology.
Something like that.
So yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jason. Go ahead. We're just.
I was actually looking this up a bit while you guys were talking. So it seems like there's a lot of research that suggests that some hypotheses are that given human and monkey ape fear of snakes and other serpents, that fear has been translated into these mythological concepts of dragons, and that it looks like early on dragons were like essentially like big ass snakes. They weren't like there was not really a body. It's just like a big snake with a head on it. And that they exist in like dark places, like scary ass places, the deep, caves, things like that. So I'm wondering if it's not a combination of. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't make me show you guys my snake. It's not nearly as big.
Hey, damn.
Look, we don't need another Leviathan in here, Leo.
Come on, Leo. We're not talking about garter snakes. We're talking about like big boa constrictors.
Well, this is more like an earthworm.
Oh.
Or like a maggot, maybe. Or like those little like grubs, if you've ever seen those. Yeah.
Gross.
Wow.
That's a vivid image.
But wait a second. Okay, the last thing I was going to say is that I'm wondering if at some point, like, dinosaur bones were discovered, and then the myth of like these serpents got translated onto that. They're like, oh my god, we found these bones that look like this big creature. We're going to call that a dragon, and they make the connection between these snakes that have the head, and so I'm just curious if there's like a kind of a combination of things that may have resulted in why the modern version of dragon. You guys are all just a bunch of jokers.
I don't think that's good enough.
That's it.
You know what, Jason? Stop.
Oh my god, I'll just wait.
You know what stop means?
All right,
God,
Leo's
pissed him off so bad. It was so fucking.
I was on with Darth Dawkins earlier today, and he booted.
God bless you.
It's gonna get clipped. It's gonna get clipped.
It's gonna be on Tom Rabbit.
It's gonna be on Tom Rabbit's channel.
How high were you?
Give us a preview, Jason.
Hey, you
give us a preview.
I gotta say this.
Well, no. Here's what happened. Like I went on
Danny for the recording.
I went on to Clubhouse, and I saw a room with Darth Dawkins and Otangelo. So I go in the room.
Oh my god!
And as soon as I go in the audience, immediately Otangelo starts like harassing me. He's like, "Oh, I can't do." Jason Thorne is in the audience, and Jason Thorne is blah 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 blah. And so I'm like, "Oh fuck, Otangelo!" So I join. And so Tangelo starts harassing me, and I I'm like, look, this is, he's telling me like, you don't want to debate me because I don't have a PhD. I'm like, look, it doesn't matter that you don't have a degree. It matters that like the information that you're putting out is bullshit. And if you were able to support that validly, then it would be okay. But whatever. So okay, as I do that, Tangelo just flees. He just leaves because he doesn't want to talk. Leaves me with Darth. I'm in there with Darth, and so Darth starts running at me with different arguments. So
the best thing to debate Otangelo on is proper Discord server administration. Ask him about that.
Oh, why does he not do that appropriately? Or
Because
I'll
he
let
had-
Sinister
he
tell
made a
the story.
Discord.
because when
Oh,
he set
yeah,
up his
okay,
Discord,
tell it.
he set up a Discord server once, and he forgot to change the roles, so
Oh.
everyone came in as an admin. So people were changing his channel names.
Oh
Oof.
God.
That's good.
Yeah.
But
That's,
Darth
Poor
kept
Angelo.
Darth kept like, you know, doing his classic thing where like he's running some stupid argument because he's like, you know, gives me some big long-winded question that is
It's
very
always the same
complicated.
argument.
And as
Yeah.
soon as I say like 4 words, he starts to interrupt me. And so I'm like, what the fuck, man? You won't let me get a word out. I'm calling him a
No, you're right.
clown. You know, I thought of the word clown because Leo kept calling him a clown. I said, I want to call him a clown. So we went back and
That's a
forth
good
for
one.
about 10, 15 minutes till he finally booted me. But like, you know, it'll be on Tom Rabbit. You'll get.
But the
you'll
thing
get
is, you can see the pivotal moment where Darth just gets mad. You can see the
Yeah.
it's distinct, and it's so fucking.
And
I
I
don't know why
Dude,
people
the gain on his mic, it kept going like
Yeah.
way
Well-
beyond. He was so fucking pissed.
I've realized what his shtick is that he basically does a pseudo lawyer. He just sits there and basically, I'm going to ask the questions. If you don't say anything but yes or no, even in I don't know,
I
he
interrupt you.
berates you.
Yeah.
Well, he interrupts exactly. And if you ever try to ask a question, he says, no, or I'll let you ask. You will get to your question
Later.
So you basically, and if you control the questions, you control the conversation. You never get to actually get to see someone else's worldview. So
Well, I don't think that's entirely true, but you're right, because if he doesn't get the answer he wants, he'll just re-ask the question and say, that's not a valid answer. I want this answer from you. Like,
Yeah, and that's
if
God.
you're asked questions, you can give answers. I don't think you're giving up control, but he doesn't allow
Well,
you to answer in the way that you want to answer.
it's not only that, but I would say I tried to ask him questions. He would not let me. Like I wish
He won't.
I had a question counter above my head, and just I would take like a 10-1. Like just give for every 10 questions, just let me have one.
He says he'll get to your questions. He'll get to your questions.
Well, yeah, but that's
He's
like the
almost
people.
done, Newman.
That's like the people who ask George R.R. Martin when the next installment of A Song of Ice and Fire is coming out. It's just, oh, don't worry, we'll get there. It's coming, I promise. Like
Well,
that's all it is.
exactly.
It's just,
Exactly.
And then nobody fucking knows when it's
I mean,
5 years go by, and then it's 10, and then it's 15, and nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Like it's
Sorry,
it's
immutable.
that.
Were you wanting to say something? Sorry, I sort of.
Yeah, I
jumped
mean,
in.
I've been long around. Like I've been paying attention to the community long enough where like I've seen several different like waves of Darth in a way, like where Darth is essentially, and I kid you not, like he uses the same argument like he used about, I don't know, like 10 whenever the heck he joined YouTube was, and effectively like he's gotten more aggressive over the years. He used to be a lot more patient. But any response you give to him that isn't the response he wants, he'll just get pissed off over time, and it doesn't matter what you say.
So I have a question for Amy here. Darth even talked to you. Did he know you were trans?
Yes,
Yes.
that's why he refused to call her Amy, because he didn't know what in his mind her real name is. So he just called her Newman.
He would have
refused to call her Amy.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
But his minions were misgendering her directly, like saying he this, he that, he this, he that. But
they do the same thing to Brenda.
I was
I'm sure they
bouncing
did.
them around
Yeah.
until Darth came in, because they are bad at what they do. They can't
Oh,
do what Darth does, even a little bit like
Me,
Jay
Darth-
Robin. Oh my god, I love
shit!
Oh,
Darth.
Jay
Have you guys
Oh,
seen
God.
some of the most recent ones with Jay Robin? Oh, God, I'm gonna have to look it up. I think it's on Clubhouse Debates. I think it's Jay Robin and Jack Angstrike, I believe. Oh,
Really? He took on
The only
Angstrike.
thing I can say, man, is if you don't know your philosophy and your metaphysics and shit, just don't even talk. Just don't talk to Angstrike, because you are not walking away from that okay. Like it's gonna be bad. Like you're gonna get sat the fuck down. Like that's just the way that it is. Oh man. Oh no. I think it was maybe Jack Angstrike was there at some point, but it was Darth Arianis who was talking to J. Robin about the problem of evil and just here's the one. Jackman versus J. Robin, aka J. Dodgen. Angstrike obliterates J. Dodgen dumps. That's what we call him, dumpster fire.
Yeah,
I'll link that for everybody just because it's fun. Oh my god, I fucking love Jack Angstrike, man. He's so fucking awesome. And the thing I like about him is so many people, because of the way that he's clipped on the internet, because, you know, as much as I love Tom and CHD and everybody, Clubhouse debates, they're in it for the content. Like, that's what they want. And so the more fiery Jack is, the more views you're going to get. But in most of his exchanges, he's not like that. Anybody that knows Jack knows that when you've seen him like freaking the fuck out on somebody, that is 30 minutes into the discussion after them being extremely dishonest. And what I really like about him is it'll do what I do. If I'm talking like I am now and one of you just like immediately went in to try to start talking, I'll just so what I was saying, and just get louder and just keep going.
We know how you are, Leo.
I don't know why more people just don't fucking do that. When you're getting interrupted, just don't stop. Just keep going. Unless it's like for legitimate clarificatory purposes, then that's different. But
I just want to say I think Darth has improved because before he wasn't talking to trans people at all.
Well, I mean, he probably just didn't know they existed.
I think
I think you're right, Leo, but I think that sort of what I do is just basically amp up the volume and continue to say what I was saying. I don't say sorry.
That's what Jack does.
That can seem rude, but you just continue onwards while saying whatever it is that you want to say. And they have a choice of either have sound coming at the audience or they have to shut the fuck up. It's just the natural impulse of humans that when someone starts talking, even if you're talking, you give allowances to them. And I think it was Jay Pasick and Spatchcock were talking about this, like verbal cues, that when someone wants to talk, they'll make a cue. And then in normal conversation, that person that's talking will allow them time after
wrap up their point. Yeah.
Right. They'll wrap up their point and then allow them time, kind of thing.
That's why when discussions are had on the internet, I prefer to discuss with people who actually I can see on the camera, because if they want to say something, you know, they might do something like that. Like I'll do that a lot. I'll just put my finger up or something. And it's often subconscious. Like we'll realize that and we'll know they want to speak, but we don't like. Right. It's not at the front of our mind, but it's something that still gets acknowledged. So
I wonder if there's one where you can tell when people are done speaking, because that might be helpful. Also, Big Screen Bird, if you can tell me how to slap people through the internet, he would be one of my favorites.
Big Screen Bird, he does have that skill.
Hey, Bird, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, Bird.
And also,
I agree.
We have just a few more minutes.
A few more minutes, guys. Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up.
Oh, you go to 3 a.m. every other day of the week, but yeah, on Sunday, fuck that, right? Yeah, well, you got to have one day to yourself, right, Amy?
I think I wake up in a few hours.
Our work schedule. Yeah.
Amy, can I ask what you do for work? You don't have to like tell me the name of the company or anything. Just kind of like what your duties are.
Yes, I'll
unless
tell
you don't want
after.
to. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it if you don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want you to feel obligated.
No, but I'll just.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I understand.
I'll just say that I work with IT and I work with robotics.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's fucking badass. That's really cool.
Mechatronics is badass. Just gotta say, badass. I'm trying to sound American.
I will say that
badass, Mark. Yeah.
Well, I would say badass. So
badass.
Yeah. Arse, yes, indeed.
Arse.
What's wrong with ass? Everybody likes a little ass.
But I will say it was an interesting debate.
It was a good show.
Again, I want to thank Standing for Truth. I want to thank even Neff, even though I think like James was saying that he apparently gets triggered by me too. So just like Darth does. Apparently he goes now. So mission accomplished. Yes. What did you want to say, Leo?
I was gonna say every time I see Standing for Truth on his channel or on someplace and it's got Donnie there, what immediately pops into my head is the one thing from Family Guy, Donnie Moss, Donnie Moss. You guys might. It was just somewhat of an esoteric scene. You guys might not know.
They keep doxing him, so now he puts Donnie B because he's been doxed so many times by other Christians who've doxed him.
Oh yeah, I do the same thing with Danny. Anytime Danny shows up, oh Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
Listen, my harmonica's in the other room. Please keep it there.
No, I will not object at all if you came out and started playing. Like I would ask you to do that, but I know we're wrapping up here in like 10ish, 15ish minutes.
We're wrapping it up.
That's okay. Well, no, we are,
because otherwise I would like share my screen, play a song, and then ask you to play it
Go
back
to the
on
Discord.
harmonica just so I can hear it.
I will give us 4 minutes to the 2:15. So if you have commentary, it is till then.
You have clearly never heard me play the harmonica if you think that's the case.
Look, I don't care if what are you saying, you're bad or something?
Whip it out. The harmonica.
Don't encourage people to don't use that statement.
The harmonica.
It is great for the citation needed riff, though.
I just want to thank James for and Standing for Truth and Neff for a great debate. I had a ton of fun in that.
You were really active in the side chat.
Did Neff
I was having a blast. Sorry, Leo?
Did Neff over talk a lot, like he always does?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a given, really. And
he talks himself into his
subject. You know,
he talks himself into an oblivion, though.
Maybe
it's no surprise to anybody that like Nephilim can like have and he used to, and I think he probably still will. Like he has streams just like ranting on evolution and just going on for like 4 hours, like 4 or 5 hours at a time with nobody else in there. Like,
dude, you'll get 8 seconds of words out. He'll mute you and talk for literally 15 minutes straight.
Yeah, just keep talking. Just keep talking when he does that.
He did that on
the worst he'll do is he'll hide you and then he'll bring you back in.
He did that on T-Jumps. He just sat there in a channel and literally anybody that brought up anything he didn't like, he just muted and then spoke for so long.
Yeah, then in that case, just keep talking.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you can't. He'll mute you, and if you unmute yourself, then he'll just kick you. He'll put you backstage. This is why I don't think he hosts streams anymore. Literally, not even Christians, man. When I went in there, fucking Bob, Sunflower, I think Jamie Russell was in the chat. There was somebody else. Maybe it might have been SFT actually. Like there was 4 or 5 Christians that straight up said, like, man, you need it. Like you're not letting him speak, and like they were going off on him and shit like that. That's why he doesn't really do live streams. And like nobody wants to join because all he does is mute you and ramble for literal fucking hours.
And he always invites people to his after shows, and it's like I've been to one.
I didn't even go on yesterday.
And it was exactly that. Like he does not let anybody speak at all. It's just a crap. Yeah, it's just him. That's all.
He just wants to hear himself speak.
Yeah, the biggest example I saw of that was Leo Felius in a John Maddox stream. This is about a year ago, and John Maddox kept muting Leo, and after like the 3rd time, he just kept talking. It was like an epic rant. For like 10 minutes, he was just giving his summation while he was muted the whole time. It was just really like a mic drop moment because he was just like, "Screw you! I'm just going to make my point. You can mute me, but you can't stop me from making my point."
The good thing about John, the good thing about John is you can actually goad him into like letting you talk because John has like a very like deep issue like with pride in terms of like how people like view him. So if you just insult his masculinity enough, he'll let you finish.
I just went to Neffy's channel. You can tell I haven't been to this channel in well over a year because I didn't know about this till now. He's got one titled from 6 months ago. It's a clip from my debate with Kent Hovind. Atheist Leophilius describes 3 of the many Big Bang problems, but I'll bet if I watch this, he doesn't include what I said immediately following the outline of those 3 problems because he's a fucking idiot.
He's quote
Actually,
mining.
I mean, he is an idiot, but he's also very, very dishonest.
And
So.
that
Quote
is
mining
going to be the last comment of the night because
Thanks so
we
much,
are
guys.
moving into our outros. We have been skeptic and ranting on did dinosaurs and man coexist? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you're not hallucinating. We are
You're not
going
hallucinating.
into the outros. Woohoo! What is up, Immutable? We are
Not
skeptic
too
and
much.
ranting on did humans and dinosaurs coexist. Hope you had a fun time. What you got going on, and of course, what are your final thoughts?
Not too much going on. Just glad to see some activity going on around the community. Yeah, I mean, look, people are going to engage whatever conspiracy theory, engage in any and every conspiracy theory under the sun. I don't think dinosaurs existed with man. I just don't think that people that study this, like in paleontology, really, it's kind of established that humans existed. What is it, like 100,000, 200,000 years ago, and just the data conflicts with that narrative. But yeah, thanks for having me on. Fun to be around.
Thanks, Immutable. Good to have you on.
Thanks, Immutable. Woohoo! Good to have you. And all right. Leophilius, what is up? We are skeptic and ranting on did humans coexist with dinosaurs? Hope you had a fun time. What you got going on, and what are your final thoughts?
So I'm gonna do this just because it's gonna be funny. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to turn your headsets or your volume down.
Oh lordy, here we go.
Sit the fuck down! It's okay, Neff. You did good, but James did better. Sit the fuck down, buddy. Sit the fuck down.
Appreciate you, Leo.
Thank you, Leo. And all right, you should also
instead of a mic drop, a headphone drop.
Yeah, you should also check
out
youtube.com/Leophilius. He's been on Modern Day Debate as well as Debate Me Bra, and soon Leo, Mark, all of them, Jason, they're all going to be on Debate Me Bra coming soon.
Oh, actually, I would just wanted I want to get a hold of Snake Was Right. I'd like to have a discussion with him on either Marxism broadly or specifically the labor theory of value. I know he's doing his own debate channel now. I don't know if he'll want to do it on that if he agrees, but if not, would you be willing to host it?
Sure.
Okay, I will let you know what the word is as soon as I get the word from the bird, because the bird is the word.
There we
Big
go.
screen bird, or
sometimes the bird is a vegetarian. Exactly. And birds
from
are
each
dinosaurs.
according to his ability, to each according to his need. Yes? No?
All right. Sending so much love, Leo. And all right, we're going right down and then to the after show on Discord. But Jason, we are skeptic and ranting on did dinosaurs and man coexist. Lovely to have you. What you got going on, and what are your final thoughts?
Jason will not talk to me because I do not have a doctorate degree.
I'm sorry, guys.
A mean man.
I can't hear you guys because my eardrums are blown out by Leo screaming. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Yeah. So I don't know what else to say about this other than it's a ridiculous concept. Like Nephilim clearly was reaching for as many things as possible to try to make it look like that he won. And I think that's evident in the debate. If you watch the debate, you'll see him doing all kinds of things to try to speak over top of James, posting stuff in the chat, bringing up a bunch of ridiculous comments that don't have any relevance to a particular topic. It's just classic NephilimFree. And yeah, just like what everybody else has said, the geological evidence doesn't support anything like this. So anyways,
grasping for straws. That's all he's got.
Yeah. It's good to see everybody. I always like coming on here. So
great to see you, Jason.
Thank you so very much, Jason. Woohoo! And all right, James Wolfe. We are skeptic and ranting on did dinosaurs and man coexist. I hope you had a fun time tonight. What you got going on, and what are your final thoughts.
I know you got to watch part of the debate. Did you get to watch how much of it? Are you on mute? You're on mute?
He's on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, I was saying I've watched about the first half hour. I'll go back watch the rest of it now.
Okay.
So, but yeah, good job from what I could see, James.
Thanks, James.
Yeah, look, no, thanks to Amy and James for being so gracious through all my issues I've been having with StreamYard going through my phone, but I've just put it through my desktop and it seems to be a lot better. So thanks heaps. Hopefully won't have any further issues in the future. Yeah, so look, yeah, apart from it being, you know, the scientific impossibility of dinosaurs and man living side by side, also just speaking to something that's more sort of in my area of, I don't want to say expertise, but interest, you know, the similarities between dragons and dinosaurs, it's not at all compelling, as we've kind of illustrated here. You know, it's very vague. It's far more likely, obviously, just the notion of a dragon just within mythology and storytelling and archetypal narratives is something, even within the biblical context, it's a sort of a metaphor for the adversary, and something that we've used real life creatures as a basis for, you know. I don't really have anything more interesting to say than that. But yeah, just thanks heaps for having me, guys. Enjoyed the conversation.
Thanks, James, for coming on and being a supporter of the channel. Appreciate it.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, James Wolfe. And sending love. And also...
Lots of love.
Sinister Porpoise,
we see Athena back there.
Kitty, did Dinosaurs and Man Coexist? Hope you had a fun time tonight. What do you got going on, and what are your final thoughts?
You're on mute, Sinister.
Muted.
It's okay. Like I keep on saying, we all have to do it once a podcast.
We've got a trend going there. I don't wonder what Athena's doing. I am the Sinister Porpoise. When you think of Sinister Porpoises, think of the Sinister Porpoise. And if anyone would like to debate on whether dragons are kosher or not, I'm sure someone can set that up. I'm sure it'll be just as worthwhile as apparently NephilimFree's debate was. Hi, Athena. No, dinosaurs and man did not live together unless you're talking about avian dinosaurs. Thank you for putting your tail in the air. Thank you, Athena.
Gizmo's getting bothered by that. He's got a... our production values, Gizmo.
And honestly, I have to say, LPP apparently done a stream on me that I still have not watched. So,
oh, surprise, surprise!
He what? He dunked on you in a stream?
He made a new stream about him.
Or I responded to his ridiculous code argument and.
Oh,
he's done a number of streams on him, so he probably picked up on it.
Well, does he not want to debate you or something on it?
He doesn't like people disagreeing with his
I mean, I doubt that he would. I'm going to be honest. I genuinely doubt that he would. But
I doubt he would.
Well, there's been I don't know if it's been covered yet, but there's been a little bit of interest between LPP has kind of, it seems that he's changed his argument, or people haven't understood his proper argument, because people like me seem to remember him saying DNA is a code, but now apparently that's not his argument.
Yeah, he did change his argument. He changed it when he had a discussion with Cy Gart, who said that that's not. I think it was Cy Gart that said that's not the most accurate way to look at it, but that he thought that the sentiment John was expressing was meaningful.
Is that why?
That DNA was a code.
Yeah.
That used to be a pivotal argument.
Exactly. I prepared a whole debate that I felt is that the specific debate, I think with you, Leo, I was way too spicy, and I was getting ready for this whole gene argument, and then neither of them, even the biologist, was like, gene?
And then Taylor just came out with these Ken Hovind talking points. That,
yeah, I was expecting that whole debate to be on genetics and code, and I was just going to be like, yeah, I don't understand what that specifically has to do. I mean, I was just going to try to keep it, actually on topic, but
Yeah,
I was surprised too.
Imagine people prior to him talking to Saigar trying to inform him that the way he formulated his argument isn't actually correct. I've had that conversation several times with him.
Let me put this out there. Logical, probable, plausible. First of all, check to see whether I'm actually an atheist before claiming I am one. Good idea there.
Good start.
Secondly, if you're willing, if you want to come on, perhaps if Amy Newman's willing, on one of her streams and discuss your new argument, because I think we all three have some sort of background in computer science. And if you want to tell us what your new argument is, I'm willing to hear it. Not a debate, because I think maybe my social issues, like having trouble knowing when it's my turn to speak, would be a problem. But just come on and we can discuss it. With that being said, be excellent to each other, and so long, and thanks for all the fish.
Thank you so much, Sinister.
I do want to ask, because I don't actually know, and I don't know if anybody else here does. Does John actually have any collegiate level experience in computer science, programming, or engineering?
He says that he has I believe, a bachelor's in IT or something.
Personally, I think he's overstating.
I don't think so.
I know he's run a company, but I don't know if he has any professional experience with coding or stuff he's coding with stuff like that.
He says he's run code that world leaders use, which I've heard that lie before. It's like,
doubt it.
I don't have a degree, and I want to make up for something.
Sound impressive?
Yeah, but it could be true.
I mean, world leaders that play the Angry Birds. So I mean.
It's possible, and there's jokes I can make that I won't make now, but
Oh my!
Save it for the after show.
Sinister, thank you so very much. Sending love out there. And all right, we are gonna just a few more left, and then we are heading out for the night. We will also open up, like I said, the Discord for the after show. But we are. Thank you, Porpoise. Thank you. I also just want to say thank you to James Wolfe, because I know that he said he was having tech issues. And I know how hard that is.
It happened.
Well, no, he didn't have to bow out, but I just wanted to, or whatever. Just sending love to him, sending love to all of our panel out there. We're going to get Mark, James, and then myself out there. But I just wanted to send love. And all right, Mark. We are skeptic and ranting. In fact, because it's like I'm sorry, it is a little maniacal. But really, we're talking about someone who thinks the Flintstones was real.
Yeah, speaking of maniacal, we've got NephilimFree. Poor Nephi. I've often thought about why every single debate of Neff's is a dumpster fire, and I think sort of James, when you don't have any decent arguments, he basically wants a dumpster fire. That's what he wants, and everything that he's geared towards is to annoy you. I don't know. I think that's exactly what he wants and where he's going with it. So, it's James has been in plenty of debates where he's had really good conversations with people, really, a lot stronger evidence than what Neff is presenting, and he's been fine. I think Neff likes to trigger people, so he has this argument kind of thing. I forgot to mention this. I did love how James at the start said, yes, dinosaurs still live with us. They are birds, and that's what our own resident bird, I love you, bird is pointing out in chat, is that dinosaurs are birds, that they evolved.
They are.
The evidence for that is kind of overwhelming. It's kind of, there's a lot of evidence for evolution, but people go into this like Neff, where they've already got their conclusion and they just have to make the evidence fit. And they can't make the evidence fit for their dinosaurs with people which is nice. I mean, so little creationists will actually have that debate. I think Neff is one of the few creationists who will actually have the dinosaurs living with man debate, because it's such a ridiculous proposition.
To add to that, Donnie will actively debate that as well.
Apparently, CJ Cox too.
Well, I hope they do, because really, I mean, what have they got in the way of evidence? Some tracks some tracks that have been discredited, completely debunked as being sort of human tracks. They've got some cave art, and they've got a couple of passages from the Bible, and a couple of stories from explorers, and that's it. It doesn't add up to much. It adds up to almost nothing, really.
The Philippines way better.
Yeah, but so I really, part of me goes, well, I hope they keep taking these debates, because they look ridiculous. They really do. It's such a silly topic. Why die on that hill? And I think the answer is because if you have to admit that dinosaurs didn't live with humans, that's old time. If you have to admit old time, then you're throwing out Adam and Eve. If you're throwing out Adam and Eve, then you're throwing out Jesus. It's this long chain of necessities that you've got for your worldview. It doesn't have to be there. There's plenty of creationists that believe in God and theists that believe in God that acknowledge scientific evidence.
Acknowledge reality.
Right, including the Pope, and including just
millions of Christians.
Yeah, they just acknowledge that, hey, the Bible doesn't have to be taken literally because it conflicts with what we find in reality, and so we don't have to take it literally, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to tell you. I don't believe what you believe, but I'm not going to tell you can't believe that. Sure. But when you get to the point of denying reality because you have to believe this is literally true, you've got problems. And I think that Ken Ham thing, where he basically said, what evidence would convince you otherwise? How strong a evidence do we have to present to you? It's nothing will ever convince me otherwise, because my prior beliefs depend on it. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just saying it kind of makes no sense to me. But
yeah, there's a lot that goes into this. But part of it as well is that they take like this false dichotomy view of if they can't defend creationism, then poking holes in evolution is the next best thing you can do, right? If there's no direct way to really do it, then the best thing you can really do is try to make the position look absurd, so that by proxy your position doesn't look completely,
it's the same tactic
that's a false dichotomy anyway, because evidence against evolution is not evidence for a god.
It's the same thing the flat earthers use.
To them it is though. To them it is though, and they view it as a true dichotomy.
Well, I mean, all you have to do is point out one other prong to that dichotomy, and then and I could point out a million things.
They're just going to do the Notre Scotsman in that case. They're just going to say people like who adhere to like old Earth or whatever, are just deviants to Scripture.
Not true Christians.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what can you do? It's but I mean,
throw them into wood chippers.
I think that these kind of topics, I don't mind them being debated so much, because they do come out looking like, Neff comes out looking ridiculous every time he steps into a ring. He really does.
Do you guys play the Neffy drinking game?
God, I don't think anybody can.
The one where every time he whistles when he talks, you take a drink.
I want to live, thank you, Leo. Yeah.
The only one
dead by daylight.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on. I really enjoyed this panel.
Thank you so very much.
Great show.
Thank you, Amy. James, you did the best under really difficult circumstances.
Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. From a very good debater.
Yeah, well, I mean, the guy's insufferable. I've debated him before. It's just that's his stick. It's just getting under his.
He's still on his high horse from when Conservapedia would cite him as like a credible source for countering evolution.
Jesus Christ!
Really?
Yeah, Oh, you don't know that? So like way back,
I would never have guessed that in my wildest dreams. No.
Yeah. So like the long and short, and we can talk about this like on the after show. But there's a very long history NephilimFree has. Like he's part of like this very old school kind of like creationist like group that mainly is like he's the only person who really kind of utilizes this type of thing. But like, are you familiar with like Venom Fang X?
Yeah.
The name sounds familiar. Didn't he have some?
Yeah. He got to do with Thunderfoot back in like 2007 with the copyright strikes and all that.
Yeah. So
Venom, he was taking out DMCAs.
Yeah. So the basic, like the very long and short of it is like Venom Fang X and NephilimFree and a few other people, like around that point, were kind of like the progenitors of kind of like YouTube creationism as it is. And Nephilim like was viewed like by Conservapedia at the very least as like a credible source for like, you know, dismantling and, you know, destroying evolution. This is a thing that's happening.
Yeah, that lunar bukkake theory really destroys evolution.
Yeah, man, it's pretty insane.
If you haven't heard that, Mark, Neff thinks that when the flood happened and the ocean ridges spread open, that the water shot out of the earth with such pressure that it launched marine animals to the moon. So when we go to the moon, you would find evidence of sea life from the global flood that was ejected into space when the fountains of the deep broke open.
Yeah, he says the force of the explosion of the water was so great that it could go to the moon, and that's why there's craters on the moon, because the water hit it and put the craters on the moon. All right. I don't remember who it was, but there was somebody, I think it was a YouTuber, wasn't it, or something? Immutable might know, or James or something. But I think it was like a YouTuber at the time or something like that, dubbed it the quote-unquote lunar bukkake theory.
Yeah, I don't know.
Might have been Thunderfoot, honestly.
I think it was.
Okay, so we have to ask, which is stupider, the lunar bukkake theory or the Islamic Muhammad splitting the moon in half?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. Lunar bukkake is way dumber.
It's way dumber. Like it's just.
Yeah.
I think it's taking. I think actually where Nephilim got that from is he probably got it from like interpreting some variation of like hydroplate theory or something like that.
Enormous
like
pressure.
Like that creationists have tried to put forth. So like, I guess in some sense like Nephilim is trying to like keep up like with the academic creationists of that day, but that's
where he took it was just
oxymoronic to say the least.
They try to keep up with the latest creationists from like the 1600s, the 1500s,
and he's been challenged. I think I challenged him on this panel before. Well, time he came on, and he went right into defending the lunar bukkake theory.
He still believes it, if I recall right.
No, I'm sure he does. He will never not believe it.
And thank you so very much, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
And all right, before we get our headliner on, I just want to say, first of all, dinosaurs did live millions of years ago, and we are the skeptics. We are the anti-religion people. But welcome, Avenging Pineapple. We're about to actually wrap up, sending love to the entire Twitchosphere out there. See, your silence means you have... No, we go in order. But I can see you now. Can you hear me?
I think Venom came back, actually. James Wolfe was asking in chat. Does anybody know, did Venom Fang X come back?
I'm not sure. I am Venom.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I saw some content from him in the past few years, but I don't think he's ever gotten as much traction.
All I heard about him was that he made DCMA claims and his channel got shut down for them. I think that's all I can.
If you look at like Thunderfoot's like White People Laugh at Creationist series, like some of his like earlier episodes, a lot of them deal with Venom Fang X. So you can actually see like some of his original thought-provoking content. And basically a lot of it was recycled Ken Hovind talking points, like slightly modified into cluster fuck of intellectual casserole of bullshit, basically, if I can describe it. What you got, Amy?
I just need any reason to show a prop. So
Oh, well, hey.
Can't go, all plants are going to die. But it's okay. We have a tree right here. Look at the trees. Oh, what a wonderful, deep philosophical argument that give us.
Poster boy for creationist stupidity is what Thunderfoot called it.
Exactly. And all right, I'm handing it over to our headliner.
Don't do it, Amy.
Oh my God.
James, we have been skeptic
The producer is
ranting.
Asleep.
I know. Too much catnip.
Yes, absolutely.
But we have been
thanks, guys.
and
This was a really good show. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming on. Thank everybody who watched the debate. It was a lot of fun. Thanks everybody for your commentary on it. And as always, if you have any additional thoughts on it or suggestions, tips, insults, you can send that on Discord. I will look at any suggestions or any constructive feedback anybody has. And yeah, thanks everybody for coming on. We'll go over to Discord, but we probably won't be on because we have to work tomorrow. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, fuck capitalism.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much, James. Thank you, our entire panel. And all right. You went off there just as I know. I feel bad. And normally we're up much later. We do late shows. Now we're doing some evening
but you know
shows.
What? You can rewatch the stream and leave a super thanks. There you go.
We did get our first super thanks the other day. I was supposed to thank. I should have thanked them. Sending so much love to all of our supporters. Really, you guys are what make everything possible. This channel has grown and done so much. Yes.
Before you end stream, you need to make me full screen so I can say something to you.
Always fuck.
No. See, now you're probably looking at my hair right now, but that has nothing to do with you guys going down there, down south, liking the video, commenting what you think, and hitting that subscribe button. Get us into the algorithm. Do it right now, fast!
Woohoo! Thank you so much, Leo. Woohoo! That's right. Thank you what Leo said. And also we have so many wonderful content creators here. Don't forget Leo, Immutable, Porpoise, Mark. They all make content. Go check them out on the interwebs. But I do hope
Leo has great debates. Mark has great debates out there. Immutable, I don't know if he has debates, but he's definitely a veteran in the secular field.
Whoa, Mark, what are you debating tomorrow? With who? Where? And what time?
It's on Standing for Truth. It might be your tonight.
Oh, God.
Is that T-Rock Evidence for God?
That's correct, yeah.
What time does it say for you, James?
I think, let me check.
It should be 9
because I'm in Eastern time.
Yeah,
no. You can give it to me in Eastern time because I'm only an hour
which
behind
day?
you.
20th.
So it's going to be Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I guess
okay, yeah. So tomorrow it's going to be for me tomorrow.
8
o'clock p.m. I'm going to hit the notify me button right now.
Yeah,
oh
that'll
man,
be a good debate.
I didn't know you could just get general is there good evidence for God debates on it. Ooh.
It is tantalizing.
when
should be
this
interesting.
when this debate goes, or I gave my punchline. When this live stream goes off, we will have the new channel members and the debate in the description. Go check it out so you can see James versus Giants Freedom. And on Standing for Truth, go see Mark Reid on Standing for Truth tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
See Leo Filius on Modern Day Debate. Go see because, ladies and gentlemen, agnostic, atheists, whatever, pro-science people, we don't schism. It's kind of fantastic. But yes, I hope you all had a good time on this episode of Skeptic and Ranting.
Of course.
I just wanted to say my debate was last night, so it's not something that's upcoming.
Well, last night, yeah.
But you can still check it out on my
Yes, you can.
Debate is what I meant.
Yeah, it was good.
Exactly. But yes, I hope you all had a good time on this episode of Skeptic and Ranting. Did dinosaurs and man coexist? Dun dun dun.
No.
Where tonight we threw an after party for the debate of NephilimFree versus James W. on Did Dinosaurs and Man Coexist? Which took place on Standing for Truth's channel, and we had a good time. 65 million years in the making.
Cause there ain't no party like the pre-party, and after the party's the after party. It's a parking lot party. Yeah, no, I'm literally the only person in here listens to country music. I already know it. I'm the only one. So you guys don't need to.
I like me a little country.
I'm open to country, but generally the only country songs I know are the ones where they key cars and cut tires. I want to thank my co-host,
all right, then.
James W., along with our guests, Mark, Porpoise, Wolfe, Jason, Leo Filius, and Immutable. Woo-hoo,
Thanks, guys. Great show.
The people in chat, our awesome mods who make this stream so great, our channel members and lovely viewers like you who make this channel even possible. If you enjoyed the show, please, like Leo said, please don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe, because then you gain access to that bell icon, which when
it's special.
Exactly. Very special. It's not special pleading, though. It's just special. Not like a special god, but that
what button did you say you wanted people to press?
Oh, Tangelo said
that
so.
Bell
it's not
icon.
special pleading.
First!
Oh, Tangela's very special. It's fine though. We love
it.
So.
But not special pleading.
If you want to send her money, you'll find links to do that down below too.
That's
props.
right.
Come on, enable her.
Like she said, our Patreon page down below at patreon.com/ABNewman, which helps us make even more fun content. We also have after shows where you can join our community at the Skeptic and Ranting Discord. I am Amy Newman. I hope we will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z. Good night, everyone.
Click down there.
Fast. Amy Newman lives with dinosaurs.
Thanks, guys.